You are looking live at a beautiful night here on South Beach. This is Miami, Florida, Vice City, the 305, and it plays host to one of the most brutal nights on the WWE calendar. This is the 2025 Bad Blood. Miami, Florida, a city built on heat, pressure, and late-night legends. And tonight, the flame burns hotter than ever before. It's a night where championships aren't just defended, they're fought for at any cost. Where rivalries don't cool off, they ignite. Tonight, the air is thick with unfinished business. Rules will be shattered, restraints will be gone, and the hunt for glory brings these women into a battle fueled by pride, pain, and the need to prove who truly belongs at the top. The pressure reaches its breaking point as the fate of undisputed gold hangs in the balance. The Tribal Chief, the greatest of all time. Two icons collide for legacy, blood, and destiny itself. And a war between former partners leads them to the most demonic structure known to mankind. Hell in a Cell. No escape, no mercy, no turning back. Steel will bend, bodies will break, and by the end of the night, every rivalry, every chase, every promise meets its final, violent chapter. This is Bad Blood, and tonight, no one will leave the same.
And now, WWE Bad Blood.
You are looking live inside the Casilla Center in Miami, Florida, for a night where rivalries will come to a head, scores will be settled, and tonight at Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell will be lowered. It is going to be an unforgiving night of action live from South Beach. Let's get things going with the Cruiserweight Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
A father who is out to teach his son a lesson in respect. The Hall of Famer, the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio is in the 305. 9 times throughout his career, Rey Mysterio has been the Cruiserweight Champion, dating all the way back to WCW to most recently, just over 2 years ago, a part of SmackDown. But Rey Mysterio not only is out for his 10th Cruiserweight Championship victory tonight, he is out to teach his son a lesson he won't soon forget. Rey has been in the ring with his son Dominik Mysterio in recent memory. Dominik cheated his father out of victory. Rey Mysterio looks to get back at his son here tonight at Bad Blood. But Dirty Dominik Mysterio has always got something up his sleeve. Confident as ever. Cocky as ever. It is a big night for the Judgment Day, and it all starts with Dirty Dom. Dominik Mysterio, a 2-time Cruiserweight champion, won that title for the very first time earlier this year at WrestleMania. He had lost the gold to Javon Evans at King and Queen of the Ring back in July, but just a couple of weeks later won it back from Evans in a 2 out of 3 falls matchup and has held on to the gold ever since. Rey Mysterio resurfaced after a couple of months on the shelf on SmackDown and got in the face of his son. It was really the first time they had truly crossed paths since Dominik Mysterio went to Raw a couple of years ago and joined the ranks of the Judgment Day. Rey Mysterio not happy with the man his son has become. He sees that Cruiserweight Championship and taking it away from him as a way to stick to Dominik Mysterio, get under the skin of Dirty Dom, and maybe wake him up a little bit and show Dom that his way is not the right way. Well, either way, you can't help but look at the recent history. Dominik Mysterio has defeated his father just about a month ago on SmackDown. Will that be the same result here tonight in Miami, Florida?
Introducing the challenger from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio. And his opponent from San Diego, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Dirty Dominik Mysterio.
Well, again, as we mentioned, it is a big night for the Judgment Day. Later tonight in your main event, the Hell in a Cell will be lowered. Finn Balor will be locked inside with Damian Priest over the World Heavyweight Championship. But kicking things off tonight in Miami, Dirty Dom's Cruiserweight Championship of the World is on the line against his father, Rey, who is a 9-time Cruiserweight champion throughout his Hall of Fame career. This should be a good one between father and son. Dominik's got no respect for the man who stands across from him. Rey Mysterio looking to teach him some as we are underway here in the KCA Center. Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. Dominik Mysterio defeated Rey Mysterio with the help of an exposed turnbuckle about a month ago on SmackDown. Dirty Dom showing his true colors against his father on that night in order to retain his Cruiserweight title. Remember what happened just a couple of nights ago on SmackDown? Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee of the Latino World Order picking up the victory of the Judgment Day's JD McDonough and Carlito. So dare I say, some big victories for both of these men as of late. A little bit of an even playing field between father and son in terms of momentum. Dominik Mysterio used that exposed steel about a month ago on SmackDown. I'm sure Rey Mysterio is going to be cautious of that tonight, knowing that his son is not willing to leave any stone unturned in order to find success. Something that Dominik Mysterio has become synonymous with. Not necessarily the success part, but the, underhanded tactics, that part. Dominik Mysterio taken off his feet by his father for the first time in the matchup. Listen, make no mistake about it, whether we like Dominik Mysterio's tactics or not, whether we like his attitude or not, whether we like his association to the Judgment Day or not, the young man's been a success. He's a former Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Cruiserweight Champion. He was last year's Breakout Superstar of the Year. And Rey Mysterio is looking to break into that thick skull of Dominik tonight and teach him a lesson. Out of the corner, springboard, drop kick. Nobody does it better than the Hall of Famer. Rey Mysterio at the show Dom. And there's a couple of tricks that he has yet to learn in this industry. Rey Mysterio full of them. Look at this. What a head scissors takedown by the Hall of Famer. Rey into the cover on Dirty Dom. And I think Rey knows it's going to take more to keep Dominik down tonight. Just trying to get under the skin of his son. He'll be forced to extend a little bit of energy here, trying to exhaust him earlier on. Dominik Mysterio off the hip toss. Last thing Dom wants is to see Rey Mysterio dictate the pace of this matchup. He doesn't want to wrestle a defensive battle against his father. He wants his father to be in that position where he's got to fight an uphill battle, and Dom is the one dictating the pace. Just as we are seeing right now as Dirty Dom takes Rey Mysterio off his feet. To be honest, I'm surprised that Dom is not accompanied by his little girlfriend and Liv Morgan tonight, but obviously Dirty Dom has got something to prove. Poison Rana on Rey Mysterio, and Rey able to kick out, but at what cost? Dominik holding no punches earlier on here at Bad Blood. The Poison Rana dropping Rey Mysterio in the back of his skull. Rey able to kick out, and now Dom stomping the life out of Rey. As we were previously mentioning, no Liv Morgan out here, no JD McDonough, no Carlito. Everybody in the Judgment Day is going to be useless later tonight in Hell in a Cell. And Finn Balor's matchup with Dirty Dom coming out here by himself, just as he did against his father last month on SmackDown. Can't help but make you think that Dom's got something else up his sleeve. And now another cover by the defending Cruiserweight champion. And Rey gonna kick out again. The more Dom goes for covers, the more Rey Mysterio kicks out, the quicker I believe Dom is going to get frustrated here. It's exactly what happened last month when they clashed on SmackDown. Rey just continued to survive, and Dominik eventually had enough of it. That's when we saw him expose the steel underneath the turnbuckle pad. Set Rey Mysterio, his own father, his own flesh and blood, right into that exposed steel. Had a frog splash on top of that, and Rey was out for the count. Rey Mysterio hoping for a different result tonight. But if this keeps up, it is going to be a long night for Rey. And just yet another successful one in the young career of Dirty Dom. Dominik's had a hell of a year thus far. And standing side by side with Finn Balor in the reshaping of the Judgment Day. A group that has taken over SmackDown in recent months. Balor, your current World Heavyweight Champion. Dom's girlfriend, Liv Morgan, the Women's United States Champion. Of course, Dom himself defending his gold right here and now in the middle of Miami, Florida. Rey Mysterio down right now as Dominik Mysterio just continues to dictate the pace. It's the last thing Mysterio needs, but there's Rey, off a reversal. Maybe the Hall of Famer has got a little something left in the tank. That Poison Rana earlier on obviously took a lot out of Rey. Let's see if Dominik's father's got anything he can get back to. What a boot across the jawline! Rey Mysterio kicking things into a different gear, and now a crossbody over the top rope and down to the floor. If there's one thing Dominik should know about his father, is that it ain't over till it's over. You never discount Rey until you hear a bell. The biggest underdog in WWE history. And his son is finding out why all over again. What a maneuver by Rey into the cover. And Dom gonna kick out. And this Cruiserweight Championship matchup gonna progress at least for the moment. Rey Mysterio, however, starting to regain control of this contest as he sends Dom into the far corner. Rey Mysterio looking to become a 10-time Cruiserweight champion throughout his career tonight. It could come at the expense of his own son. Down goes Dom off the head scissors. Miami, Florida on their feet. Uh-oh. And in the middle of the 305, Rey Mysterio delivers the 619. Dom out for the count. Mysterio dropping the dime. Here we go. No, Dirty Dom gonna kick out. Oh, Rey Mysterio had to feel like that was it. Off the top rope, and then the 619, and then the splash. Dirty Dom somehow, someway, still alive. Father and son know each other very well. They know what their arsenals look like. They know what it takes to survive. And now Dom trying to regain composure as Rey started to take over here. Had to believe that Rey Mysterio was on the verge of becoming Cruiserweight champion. Dom had to see the title reign flash before his eyes. Now Rey is the one hoisted on top by his son, and a superplex by Dominik. Miami may not be too fond of Dominik, but they're loving the Cruiserweight action here. And now, a little role reversal between father and son as Dominik delivers the 619. And a halo that Eddie Guerrero will be proud of. To retain the title, no! Mysterio kicking out. Rey kicking out. And Dirty Dom's frustration is written all over his face. This is what happened last month on the main event on SmackDown when these two men clashed for the Cruiserweight Championship of the World, Dominik began to get frustrated as the survival instincts of his father were on full display. Well, Dom, this is where boys become men. How do you adapt to the situation? How do you find a way to keep down a Hall of Famer? Mysterio just collapses off the collision with the turnbuckles, and now Dirty Dom. Oh, counter out. Wait a minute here. Look at this combination. Dominik Mysterio with the arm drag, and then drops Rey with a clothesline. Rey Mysterio. Wait a minute, in the drop zone. Frog splash by Dom. That's gotta do it. No! Rey Mysterio still alive. I agree with the sentiments of Miami. Let's keep this fight going. Neither father or son looking to give an inch. Uh-oh, wait a minute here. Well, this is exactly what we saw on SmackDown last month. Dom's frustration getting the best of him and exposing the steel underneath the turnbuckles, and he's doing it to the opposite corner as well. Well, Rey has got to be cautious. He's got to be aware of his surroundings. He cannot allow history to repeat itself here in Miami. Dominik exposing to... And now a third? Is that really necessary, Dom? Referee Chad Patton is seeing all of this, but I mean, what can he do, really? Can't keep your eyes off the action just to cover up one's turnbuckle when the other two are exposed as well. Dominik Mysterio might have spent a little too much time taking apart this ring, and now Rey's starting to fight back. Rey on top. And dropping the hammer, but Dominik Mysterio catching his father right in the rib cage. Hold on here. Rey Mysterio putting on the brakes, realizing what Dom was trying to do. Oh, a little eye for an eye. Rey Mysterio just sent his son into the exposed steel. And now a frog splash by Rey. Anything you can do, I can do better. Oh my goodness. Rey Mysterio caught his son slipping. Dominik screwed his father out of victory last month on SmackDown with that exposed steel. Tried to do the same again tonight, but his father beat him to the punch. His father was ready for it. Referee Chad Patton letting these two men deal with their family battle. And Rey Mysterio just caught Dirty Dom and has taken away the Cruiserweight Championship from his own son. What a matchup to kick things off tonight at Bad Blood. Incredible Cruiserweight action between two men who know each other extremely well. Dominik's frustration ultimately leads to his downfall in the middle of Miami, Florida.
Here is your winner, and the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio!
Well, Rey certainly wasn't afraid of giving Dom a taste of his own medicine. And tonight, another crowning night in the already Hall of Fame career of the Master of the 619. 10 times throughout his career, from WCW all the way to 2025 on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio, a 10-time Cruiserweight Champion of the world. The Judgment Day ain't gonna be happy about this. What a way to kick things off tonight, live from Bad Blood. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by No Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. Well, we want to take you back to a couple of months ago on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus retaining their championships over New Catch Republic. But the celebration for those two warriors was cut short as Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns were out on the stage to call their shot. The Machine Guns have been gunning for a shot at the WWE Championships ever since they've arrived on SmackDown. And a couple of weeks ago, they were sent a message by the champions themselves. Big singles victory for Chris Sabin, but another celebration that ended prematurely as the Motor City Machine Guns were dropped with McIntyre and Sheamus own Tag Team Championships. Well, a message sent by the Machine Guns, a counter message sent by the champions. But tonight, the ultimate message to be sent. Who's going to be the WWE Tag Team Champions on the other side of the bell? Only one way to find out. Your challengers this evening. Two men who got a hell of a lot of history in this state up in Orlando. But tonight the action resides in the middle of Miami, Florida. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns. This World Travel Decorated Tag Team arrived on the scene on SmackDown back in July. They have turned away competition left and right, only one blemish on their record since arriving, but Sabin and Shelley have made themselves undeniable contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus have been dominant, but maybe they've met their match. There's only one way to test that theory. Let's ring the bell and bring the fight to the middle of Miami, Florida. And luckily for the Machine Guns, it seems to be fight night. One half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, arrives on the scene in a city he's got a hell of a lot of history in. It was back in 2012, right here on Miami soil, that Sheamus became the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania that year. All this time later, a Hall of Fame career behind him, and still many years ahead of him, Sheamus and McIntyre holding down the tag team division on Thursday nights. That is a scary sight that Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin better be ready and better be prepared to combat with. And if Sheamus wasn't scary enough, his tag team partner might leave you spooked. The Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre and Sheamus have held the WWE Tag Team Championship since the 31st of May at Clash at the Castle in McIntyre's homeland of Scotland. They have turned away Fraxium, not once but twice. They have turned away New Catch Republic for the tag team titles, not once but twice. Alpha Academy on that list as well, and McIntyre and Sheamus are looking to add Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin as the next victims to their tag team championship reign. McIntyre and Sheamus really entered the tag team division unintentionally. They were called out by Fraxium all the way back in the spring, And unfortunately for the rest of the tag team division, these two heavyweights have taken them by storm. You know, Drew McIntyre really turned his luck around in no time. Earlier this year, he was the World Heavyweight Champion. He lost that title in the main event of WrestleMania, lost his rematch on the SmackDown following. But just a short time later, McIntyre and Sheamus capturing the WWE Tag Team Championships that they currently hold. And hell, they've had a stranglehold on ever since. But as we mentioned prior, maybe they have met their match. World-traveled veterans, the tag team champions across various promotions, but never in WWE, the Motor City Machine Guns have come to Miami to collect.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 420 pounds, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. And their opponents at a combined weight of 521 pounds, the team of the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre and Sheamus handing over the championship gold that may be leaving them here tonight. The Motor City Machine Guns are former TNA World Tag Team Champions, former IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. They are out to make history tonight and become the WWE Tag Team Champions. And we are underway with our second championship matchup here at Bad Blood, courtesy of SmackDown as well. The Celtic Warrior Sheamus in the ring with Alex Shelley of the Machine Guns. Obviously, as really the history has shown as of late in this tag team division on SmackDown, opposed to Sheamus and McIntyre's opponents, the size and power in their corner. But Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin with that speed and agility and a couple of other tricks up their sleeve as well. They've already had one new champion crowned tonight. Rey Mysterio bringing home the Cruiserweight Championship just moments ago. Will the tag team titles of SmackDown be changing hands as well? Tag made to Chris Sabin. Sabin and Shelley love to keep each other afresh. Got tons of different tag team maneuvers to try to throw their opponents off their game. Discus kick right into the little mini super kick by Chris Sabin. Takes the Celtic Warrior down, maybe out here, and Sheamus gonna pop the shoulder early. Sabin and Shelley unleashing here with a flurry of strikes in the early moments. Love to go high risk, high reward, but also a couple of different arsenals in play. Sabin and Shelley been around the world, have wrestled all kinds of different styles, and may have exactly what it takes to throw Sheamus and McIntyre off their game tonight. Remains to be seen. Obviously, goes without saying, we are never going to discount two former World Heavyweight Champions in Sheamus and McIntyre. The Motor City Machine Guns have beaten a hell of a lot of teams in their careers. Maybe tonight's going to be another. There's Sheamus just grounded and pounded on Chris Sabin. And that's really exactly what the champions are going to have to do tonight. Not allow Sabin and Shelley to wrestle their style of matchup. They start flying around this ring, throwing punches, throwing kicks, going high risk, high reward. It is going to be a long trip to Miami for Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. You got to be able to catch the machine guns. You got to be able to ground them. That's what McIntyre's trying to do, but Chris Sabin's got other plans here. Look at this, into the crucifix pinfall. Might have caught Drew. Only a 1 count that time, but that just goes to show you how quick the machine guns can catch you, and that goes to show you how quick McIntyre can knock you off your feet. Just leveling Sabin with that lariat and the overhead throw by the Scottish Warrior. Drew McIntyre, former World Heavyweight Champion, a man who slipped into madness last year and trying to become champion. And now him and Sheamus have been ruling the tag team division ever since May 31st. These guys are not looking to let up anytime soon. Belly to belly sends Sabin to the other side of the ring. And out of the ring for good measures. Now we're talking about what McIntyre and Sheamus cannot allow, and that's Sabin and Shelley to be flying around this ring, going high risk, high flying, throwing a ton of strikes. This is what the machine guns cannot allow. Their bodies to be thrown from pillar to post by McIntyre and Sheamus. Just that physical style that the champions bring to the squared circle, excuse me. Sabin just ragdolled back inside the ring. Obviously McIntyre in no rush, so you got the champion's advantage here. Sabin and Shelley got to get the job done between the ropes tonight if they want to leave Miami as the WWE Tag Team Champions. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus taking SmackDown over, especially the tag team division. Anybody who stepped up has been stepped on. Machine Guns looking to write a different story here. They wouldn't have called their shot if they weren't confident in doing so. Whole different ball game when the bell actually sounds and you are in the ring with these two warriors. My God! You know, Chris Sabin's not usually afraid to leave the soles of his boots, but I don't think he prefers to be being thrown around by McIntyre and Sheamus. A couple of elbow drops to the heart aren't going to do him any favors either. Sheamus and McIntyre turning away New Catch Republic, a team that they had a lot of history with this year on multiple occasions. Even Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate tried to mix up their arsenal time and time again. It just wasn't enough. Maybe Chris Sabin off that reversal and now perched on top can find a way. Hail Sabin! Down goes Sheamus! And a kick out by the Celtic Warrior that time. But Chris Sabin feeling comfortable, leaving the soles of his boots that time. Machine Guns got no problem flying around this ring as long as it's on their own accord. Sheamus getting hung up in the top rope. I think just to knock him for a loop, at least for an extra second, so Sabin can get a much-needed tag to Alex Shelley here. And here's that tandem offense that we discussed by the Machine Guns. Alex Shelley, now your legal competitor with the Celtic Warrior Sheamus in this tag team championship affair at Bad Blood. Sheamus sent back between the confines of the ring. Alex Shelley feeling confident on top. Oh man, what a kick! High altitude. May have done it. And Sheamus still alive. Incredible offense by the Machine Guns, and then a high risk, high reward that works out perfectly for Alex Shelley. Wasn't enough to get the 3 count. I was about to say, might have knocked Sheamus for a loop, but I think Sheamus just did that to Shelley. Discus knee, and all of a sudden, Alex Shelley's on a wobbly foundation. I don't know, man. The Machine Guns have looked good since arriving on SmackDown, but they may need a hope and a prayer to get through Drew and Sheamus tonight. You're just dealing with two completely different kinds of beasts. And there's that Glasgow kiss. And it may be academic from here, maybe not. Chris Sabin is going to make sure this matchup is not done just yet. Breaking things up and off. Well, that's to no surprise. Cheap shot by McIntyre knocks Chris Sabin off the apron. Now Alex Shelley trapped between a rock and a hard place. Tag made to Sheamus once again. And Shelley getting dropped. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, decorated tag team, decorated singles competitors as well, just as Sheamus and McIntyre are. Machine Guns with a hell of a lot more tag team experience under their repertoire, but I'm not sure it's gonna matter tonight. Alex Shelley showed some signs of life when he got tagged in, but Sheamus and McIntyre have just completely shut that off. Shelley up against the ropes. Let's see what Sheamus has in mind. Just a simple belly to back, showcasing the power, showcasing the strength, just asserting the dominance, are the tag team champions. You know, we said as they were making their way down the aisle, Sabin and Shelley, a lot of history in this state up in Orlando where we were for SmackDown on Thursday. There's another cheap shot. Doesn't surprise me. Sabin and Shelley looking to make more history here in the Sunshine State. Tonight residing in Miami, Florida, but you got two brick walls standing in front of you, damn near impossible to run through them. Alex Shelley hoisted on top, counters with the boot, much needed reversal, around and around we go! Celtic Warrior knocked off his feet. Machine Gun's gotta get going, and they gotta get going now. Started off this matchup wrestling how they wanted to. Sheamus and McIntyre have dictated the majority of it. There's a tag made to Chris Sabin. Fresh legs for the Machine Guns. Double hip toss, double kicks. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Cradles himself up. A little senton by Sabin. Off the middle, or I should say off the bottom with another senton. All of his weight coming crashing down. And now Chris Sabin perched on top. What a double stomp! Crushing the rib cage of the Celtic Warrior. Oh man, and Sheamus kicking out. Drew McIntyre getting in there as well. Goes to show you McIntyre believed this thing could have been over, and Sabin giving McIntyre a taste of his own medicine, knocking him off the apron. Sheamus trying to come from behind. Chris Sabin off the reversal. I don't know if you want to get into a strike exchange with one of the hardest hitters in WWE, but Sabin and Shelley ain't backing down for nothing. Celtic Warrior perched on top. Sabin starting to hit a groove. Uh-oh. Look at the strength by Sabin to deliver that superplex. That is going to take a pound out of the Irishman. Discus kick again. Sabin far from done. And the strength on display for a second time. And nearly new tag team champions crowned, but Sheamus pops the shoulder up. An exciting flurry by Chris Sabin, unable to find the 3 count, but who's to say they won't on the other side? This thing far from over, but there's Sheamus now with Sabin on his shoulders. Into the white noise. And now it's Sheamus into the cover, and it's Alex Shelley breaking things up. Ever since Sabin got tagged in, the pace has turned up a couple of notches. Alex Shelley knocked off the apron. Chris Sabin, however, maybe, I should say his momentum might have been taken out from underneath him by Sheamus, and there's a big boot by McIntyre out of the corner. McIntyre and Sheamus, Motor City Machine Guns. Who wants it more here in Miami? Well, there's Sabin off the boot. McIntyre showboated a little bit, might have given Sabin a little bit too much time for R&R. McIntyre brushes him off. Couple of shots himself. Sabin gonna catch it. And a big time kick knocks the Scottish Warrior off his feet. Oh my goodness, drop kick. Sheamus just ate the ring apron for a little dinner. Drew McIntyre in trouble. Tag made to Shelley. Skull and bones. No, McIntyre, ever emphatic, kicks out after the count of 1. Oh, that has got to be so disheartening. The confidence has got to be rattled to the Machine Guns after that. Their best maneuver, the skull and bones, and the former multiple-time World Heavyweight Champion has still got a pulse. I don't know what you do from here, but they ain't gonna give up. Alex Shelley with a pair of boots himself, this time to McIntyre. And Sheamus gonna break things up. I don't know what you do if you're the Machine Guns. Maybe you keep working on the abdominal of McIntyre. You've already softened it up. Maybe another delivery of skull and bones will do it. All remains to be seen. McIntyre, however, still moving. Able to skin the cat off the reversal. Sends Shelley into the corner and just collapses him with an ever-powerful lariat, and down goes Sabin. Uh-oh. McIntyre with a Claymore kick. Alex Shelley knocked out for good. A great performance. The best that they could give. Out of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley tonight. Nothing to be ashamed of in defeat. They called their shot a couple of months ago on SmackDown. They wanted the contest against McIntyre and Sheamus. They felt they had what it takes. They felt they earned their opportunity, and they did. But tonight, Motor City Machine Guns found out what the rest of the SmackDown Tag Team Division has found out since the 31st of May, and that's that McIntyre and Sheamus are just a different breed. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley leaving it all on the line tonight. A great performance in the middle of the 305. But the Scottish Warrior and the Celtic Warrior, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, continue their dominance over the SmackDown Tag Team Division and retain the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Here are your winners, and still WWE Tag Team Champions, the team of Drew McIntyre and the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus!
McIntyre and Sheamus continue to clean house in the SmackDown Tag Team Division. Like them, love them, or hate them, they're running over the competition month in and month out, and they are still your WWE Tag Team Champions. Wait a minute! Hold on here! Oh man! Main event Jey Uso! Big Jim! Jimmy Uso! The Usos are back here at Bad Blood! And they are staring down McIntyre and Sheamus! Well, Drew and Sheamus have dominated. They've cleaned up the SmackDown Tag Team Division. But maybe, just maybe, there is one team who could best the Tag Team Champions. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next live from the Casilla Center here in Miami, it is the SummerSlam rematch as Lyra Valkyria defends the WWE Women's Championship against the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley. Can Lyra prove that she truly can defeat Rhea? We find out up next. At SummerSlam, the unthinkable became reality. Lyra Valkyria did what the world believed couldn't be done. She defeated the Nightmare Rhea Ripley and claimed the WWE Women's Championship. 2025 has been the rise of a new force, from becoming the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion to being crowned Queen of the Ring to standing tall at the biggest party of the summer. But for all she's conquered, one shadow still follows her. Some say her victory was under circumstance, that Rhea Ripley wasn't at full strength, that the Queen of the Ring claimed her crown while the Nightmare was wounded. Since that night, both women have rebuilt, reset, and refocused. Loose ends tied, battles finished. Now, the inevitable returns. Two friends, bound by respect, yet driven by obsession. Because when the bell rings, respect becomes irrelevant, and survival becomes everything. Lyra fights to prove she can defeat Rhea Ripley at her best, and the Nightmare fights to reclaim the gold that defines her legacy. At Bad Blood, the 2025 Queen of the Ring defends her championship against the demon in her dreams.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Championship.
This is what you challenge you!
Respect may be there, friendship may be there, but when the bell sounds, this woman, the Nightmare, is hell-bent on one thing, and that's getting back the WWE Women's title. It was back at SummerSlam in August that Rhea Ripley defended what was then her WWE Women's Championship against the rightful #1 contender, the Queen of the Ring, Lyra Valkyria. Rhea went in not injured, but certainly less than 100%, as less than 2 weeks prior she was put through a table by Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw. Rhea battled Lyra Valkyria with a taped up abdominal section, and not that Lyra Valkyria solely focused on that throughout the matchup, but it certainly made things a hell of a lot harder for the Nightmare on that night. Well, since then, Rhea Ripley has finished her business with Nia Jax. Hell, put Nia Jax through a table 3 weeks ago in Hamburg, Germany on Monday Night Raw. Lyra Valkyria has turned away Nia, as well as Tiffany Stratton last month at Bash in Berlin in WWE Women's Championship defenses. Now these two women find their way back to one another at all and 100%. And the interesting story about this is that it was Lyra Valkyria who first confronted Rhea Ripley, because Lyra has heard the whispers that she can't beat Rhea when Rhea's at full strength. Lyra is once again here to prove her doubters wrong and her supporters correct. Lyra defeated Rhea at SummerSlam. Many believe there is an asterisk on that contest. Tonight, the pressure's on the shoulders of Valkyria to rise to the occasion all over again. And you gotta commend Lyra, as again she was the one who threw out the challenge for the SummerSlam rematch, who wanted to gift Rhea Ripley the championship opportunity that she felt she deserved. Lyra looking to be a fighting champion, once the best that Monday Night Raw has to offer. Well, Rhea Ripley is absolutely one of those best. Both of these women have had great 2025s overall. Tonight their paths cross yet again, all in the means of the WWE Women's Championship. SummerSlam brought us one hell of a fight, and you gotta believe tonight in Miami is gonna do the same thing.
Introducing the challenger from Adelaide, South Australia, Rhea Ripley. And her opponent from Dublin, Ireland, the WWE Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Two successful defenses thus far for Lyra Valkyria. Tonight, the third one since winning the title back at SummerSlam, and it is against her SummerSlam adversary. From Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland to the Casilla Center in Miami, it is round two between Rhea and Lyra right here, right now. Oh, look at Lyra taking Rhea off her feet. Lyra going for the quick victory over Rhea Ripley, trying to throw her off her game. Not just yet. Power of Rhea Ripley provided a kick out, but then Rhea now gonna dish it right back with a little schoolboy of her own. Lyra gonna kick out that time. Well, this is gonna be a hell of a fight. As we said, the respect, the friendship, it all goes out the window when the bell sounds, and both of these women came to Miami with one goal and aspiration in mind, and that's the women's title that Lyra walked down the aisle with. And Lyra just unloading on Rhea. Series of strikes and then the hip toss by Valkyria, who has had a hell of a 2025, a hell of a breakout year thus far. From winning the inaugural Intercontinental Championship to becoming Queen of the Ring to capturing the women's title at SummerSlam. This has been a hell of a year for Lyra, but it's also been a hell of a year for Rhea Ripley, who won the Royal Rumble match in January, won the women's title at WrestleMania, and held it all the way to the biggest party of the summer. Rhea Ripley looking to get back the championship that she has held on multiple occasions. Lyra, the only thing standing in her way, but maybe not for long. The champion just going splat on the canvas. And Rhea Ripley going to assert her dominance over Valkyria. Strength, size, power, it's all in the corner of Rhea Ripley tonight. We've seen Lyra outlast the Nightmare before, asterisks or not. The question is just, can she do it again? Lyra wants to prove to the people who said she only beat Rhea Ripley because Rhea was less than 100% wrong. Lyra wants to prove that she does have what it takes to defeat the Nightmare. Rhea Ripley, tilt-a-whirl, scoop and a slam. There's an early kick out by Valkyria. Both of these women going for pinfalls early. Not really sure what that means for their game plans as this championship matchup progresses, but all remains to be seen. Obviously, Rhea Ripley, like we mentioned, tying up her loose ends with Nia Jax. That tables matchup a couple of weeks ago in Germany. Lyra Valkyria on those soils as well, defeating Tiffany Stratton at the Bash in Berlin, and one hell of a battle over her women's championship. Getting their common adversaries aside, and now Lyra and Rhea can once again focus on one another. And Lyra Valkyria full of so much exciting offense. Look at this, needed a gut full head of steam. Oh man! Flowed over into the Famouser. Lyra adding some new tricks to the trade to her arsenal. Not enough to keep Rhea Ripley down, but another close call here in her WWE Women's Championship contest. Lyra Valkyria just putting pedal to the metal in this matchup. No real need for a feeling out process. These two women have fought by each other's sides time and time again on Monday Night Raw, and again have been in the ring with each other before. They know each other very well. And Rhea Ripley knows she's got to bring her best to keep down one of this calendar year's best in Lyra Valkyria. Mowing over Lyra that time with a clothesline. You notice Rhea Ripley not rushing into her offense. She is picking her spots wisely. That goes to show you the level of respect that Rhea Ripley has for Lyra, not just as a friend, but as a competitor. Rhea knows that Lyra has become one of the greats on Monday Night Raw, one of the best that Raw has to offer this year. Rhea is not taking Valkyria lightly, and it's because of tricks like that. Big time counter by Lyra. Rhea looked to be going for a belly to back. Valkyria just using her body weight to reverse the pressure and deliver a bulldog, and there's a cross body now off the middle rope. And great action thus far between champion and challenger. Knowing they got to mix up their arsenals, knowing that the other knows each other very well. Lyra and Rhea Ripley out to bring the best out of each other, let the better woman win, and see who's standing on the other side of the bell here in Miami, Florida as champion. Rhea brought to her feet. Lyra Valkyria wanted the open hand palm strike. Rhea saying, nuh-uh, not today. Delivers a headbutt. Rhea always throwing those headbutts if need be. Clearly showing she's not willing to put her own body in harm's way if it means being the champion. Uh-oh. Oh, not again. This time with the assistance of the ropes. The reverse Alabama with a little bit of extra oomph on it. And it nearly brought the championship back into the grasp of the Nightmare. But Lyra Valkyria smelling the Smelling the salt just in time. Man, that is a hard fall. Not once, but twice to take in this matchup. First out of the corner, then over the top rope. Face first goes Valkyria. Luckily for her, she's still alive. And oh, well, maybe not after that. I don't even know if Rhea Ripley meant to send Lyra for that fall, but just such a hard strike that Valkyria takes the tumble off the top rope. And now Rhea throwing her body at Lyra. And both women down for the moment at ringside. Rhea Ripley starting to take over here at Bad Blood. There's some great action already tonight here in Miami, Florida. The Women's Championship is on the line in our third championship contest of the evening. Rhea Ripley has got Lyra Valkyria seemingly exactly where she wants her as she sends a weakened champion back inside of the ring. Rhea again just taking her time, picking her spots, not underestimating the woman who defeated her all the way back in August at SummerSlam. Lyra Valkyria down dead center of the ring. Rhea Ripley, look at the strength again into the wheelbarrow, and again Lyra Valkyria face first off the canvas. This ain't nothing pretty about it. And another boot! I've got a feeling that Rhea Ripley is hitting a new gear. Confidence is at an all-time high, and Lyra may be in trouble. Lyra Valkyria barely getting to her feet. Rhea Ripley now electric chair position, and again, Valkyria's face just bouncing off the ground. And a close call here. Lyra Valkyria able to kick out. Rhea Ripley clearly is going for a knockout blow. Valkyria has ate that canvas on multiple occasions in this matchup. Rhea Ripley trying to make sure Lyra's going to be counting sheep when a 3 count is to be had. Unfortunately for Rhea, the guts are on full display of Lyra Valkyria here tonight. Lyra shaking off the cobwebs just in the nick of time on multiple occasions already. Rhea Ripley just trying to stomp the life out of the champion. Rhea Ripley, victorious or not so far, is having her way with the champion. And if this keeps up, the championship may be changing hands before we know it. There's a reversal by Lyra. And oh, into the discus leg lariat. Lyra might have caught the challenger. And a kick out by Rhea, but what precision by Valkyria. Able to get the hell out of Dodge. Counter Rhea Ripley and struck with one of her best maneuvers, knowing she had to bring her best while she had the opportunity. The leg lariat might not have put Rhea Ripley away, but it certainly rung her bell as now it's Rhea hoisted on top and Lyra's wheels that are spinning. Uh-oh here. What has Valkyria got in mind? Exploder suplex off the top rope. And as Miami erupts, it's another kick out for the Nightmare. And what a battle between two of Monday Night Raw's best. Hell, between two of the WWE's best for the Women's Championship tonight at Bad Blood. Lyra sending Rhea Ripley out. Rhea, however, going to catch her. Rhea, hip toss over the top rope. I think that's going to stop Lyra's rally. Just a suspicion. Rhea Ripley just sending Lyra Valkyria for a damn amusement park ride and a couple of headbutts for good measures. Well, Lyra's momentary comeback might have just been halted as Rhea Ripley is showing that at 100% there may be nobody who can lay a finger on her in the entire women's division in all of WWE. Rhea Ripley now back inside of the ring. Uh-oh! Riptide! Lyra Valkyria down, maybe out, or not. It's another kick out by the champion. And once again, it is Lyra's guts and resilience that are on full display. But how much more can the human body take? Rhea Ripley's got to be thinking, the hell I got to do to keep this woman down. Rhea saw this kind of fight out of Lyra at SummerSlam, but Rhea was also wounded. Rhea's at 100%, and it still hasn't been enough. And now what? Off the middle with an air raid crash on the champion. And Rhea's not done. Rhea's going up. A rare maneuver out of the arsenal, but it lands flush. A frog splash by the Nightmare. I got no words. How is Lyra kicking out? Rhea's in disbelief. Miami's in disbelief. Lyra Valkyria just will not say die. Oh, hold on here. Reversal by Lyra. Yet again, history gonna repeat itself in this matchup. Counter right into a hot strike. Nightwing. Oh, and Rhea able to pop the shoulder. Man, just imagine if Valkyria had caught Rhea Ripley that time. The Nightwing doesn't put Rhea away, but it does get Lyra momentarily in the driver's seat. I don't know how much fight Lyra's got left in her. She's running off instinct at this point. There's Rhea countering out the strikes by Valkyria. She wanted the headbutt. Lyra says otherwise. Backed up into a corner. You only got one way to move, and that's forward. Now Lyra Valkyria tries to go behind. Rhea just breaking her grip, which has got to be weak late in this matchup. Lyra does the same. Forearm delivered. One by Rhea. Oh my goodness. What a fight. And now the champion gets sent to the outside. Hold on. Full head of steam. We got a flying demon in your dreams. Rhea Ripley throwing caution in the wind, all in the name of the women's title. Back inside of the ring goes Lyra Valkyria, who looks ripe for the pickings at the given moment. Uh-oh, back on the shoulders, another electric chair. Rhea at 100% is just a different animal. Lyra Valkyria in trouble. Rhea not going for the cover just yet. Realizes an exclamation point needs to be made. What has Rhea got in mind here? And oh no, we've seen this before. It's won her titles before. Avalanche Riptide. Directly into the pin. It's over. We have a new women's champion. Wow. Lyra Valkyria fought to the very last breath. Rhea Ripley had to dig so deep, fight as if her life depended on it, and it still almost wasn't enough. Lyra's got nothing to be ashamed of tonight. After the years she's had, the fight she just gave Rhea Ripley, nobody is going to forget the name Lyra Valkyria. But tonight proves once again that Rhea Ripley is just cut from a different cloth, maybe unmatched in the entire women's division. And at full strength, at 100%, there may be nobody as dominant, as intimidating as the new WWE Women's Champion, Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Here is your winner, and the new WWE Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley.
A hell of a fight on both ends. Lyra did not make it easy for Rhea. but mommy is back on top. A very familiar sight. Oh, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Roxanne Perez is in Miami. Miss Money in the Bank, and is this it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Money in the Bank is cashing in her contract.
Oh my goodness. Roxanne Perez here at Bad Blood and is cashing in Money in the Bank. On the weekend, new champion in Rhea Ripley, but Rhea's fighting back. The title's on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Rhea Ripley could not have been expecting this after the fight she just had with Lyra, but this is exactly what Money in the Bank is made to do. Pop rocks. Oh my goodness, Rhea kicked out. Rhea kicked out. Oh, Roxanne, you might not have picked your spot wisely. Rhea still got some fight, still got some adrenaline. But Roxanne Perez has still got ideas. Elevated pop rocks. It's over. She got her. Oh my goodness. In a moment's notice, everything can change. Rhea Ripley was champion for less than a cup of coffee because Miss Money in the Bank just spoiled her night.
Here is your winner, and the new WWE Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
Well, like it or not, that is what Money in the Bank is all about. Rhea Ripley and Lyra Valkyria going to war with one another. Rhea stands tall, captures the Women's Championship yet again. But she was beaten and ripe for the pickings. And the prodigy, Roxanne Perez, cashed in Money in the Bank at an opportune time. And the prodigy's leaving Miami as champion. Well, we are live here from the Casilla Center in the 305, Vice City, Miami, Florida, and what a night it has been thus far here at Bad Blood. New champions crowned, rivalries coming to a head, and ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, a rivalry that has come together in recent weeks on Monday Night Raw is about to clash. An all-star team of the best in the world, CM Punk, stands alongside the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. It is a 2v2 battle as they go up against the enforcer of the bloodline, the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu, and the street champ, Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes was traded over to Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks after SummerSlam, set his intentions to challenge for the WWE title in the near future. Solo Sikoa arrived to threaten Cody Rhodes to stay out of the bloodline's way. Well, a week later, in Hamburg, Germany, Cody Rhodes victorious in his Monday Night Raw debut, only to be ambushed by Jacob Fatu, who was simply there to send a message on behalf of Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes' hometown of Atlanta, Georgia on Monday Night Raw a week later. Rhodes and Fatu mano-a-mano, one-on-one in the main event. Cody taking the fight to the bloodline Samoan werewolf. Cody seemed to be in control, only for Solo Sikoa to arrive on the scene and take the American Nightmare off his game, dropping him with an emphatic Samoan spike. The Bloodline looked to continue to send a message, not only to Cody Rhodes, but to the rest of the Monday Night Raw locker room. But that plan was foiled by the arrival of the best in the world, CM Punk, Cody's longtime friend, who said this past Monday Night on Raw that Cody Rhodes wants to start a war, but he ain't gonna let Cody fight it alone. You know, I'm not sure if Solo Sikoa's mission has been altered ever since he failed to become the tribal chief. But what I do know is he looks to take out two massive targets in the WWE Championship picture here tonight at Bad Blood.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 535 pounds, Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline.
Well, you notice Tama Tonga and Tongaloa out here tonight. The Bloodline looking to be in full strength. Can't help but wonder whether that was Solo Sikoa's decision or, well, maybe somebody else's decision. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu out here tonight to take on Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. Two men who have talked about in recent memory trying to challenge for the WWE title. But who is challenging for the WWE Championship later tonight? That's the OTC, Roman Reigns. And who gifted Roman Reigns that championship opportunity? That's the High Chief for the Bloodline, The Rock. Solo Sikoa threatening Cody Rhodes weeks ago. Jacob Fatu attacking him, sending a message to the American Nightmare. I can't help but wonder, even after Roman truly was crowned once more the tribal chief back at Bash in Berlin, you can't help but wonder who really is pulling the strings. But regardless of any Bloodline family drama, Cody Rhodes has got a bone to pick with the Bloodline, and CM Punk was not going to sit idly by and allow Cody to fight that numbers game all by himself. Longtime friends, over 20 years in this industry. Tonight they stand side by side in the middle of Miami, Florida, hoping to vanquish Monday Night Raw of its most dominant faction.
And their opponents from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218 pounds, CM Punk.
You know, a couple of weeks ago at the Bash in Berlin, CM Punk was challenging for the undisputed WWE Championship, something he has been trying to get back all year long. Now tonight, his focus shifts. He stands alongside Cody Rhodes, who we know has intentions to challenge for the WWE title as well, but the Bloodline interfering with that game plan. CM Punk could have sat backstage, focused on himself, and focused on how he was going to get another opportunity at the WWE title that is set to be defended later tonight here at Bad Blood. But he stepped up to the plate. You can't help but wonder, though, has he stepped into the wrong fight? Outgunned tonight, but maybe the strength of Punk and Cody will be enough to counteract the Bloodline. Big fight feel here in my city.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the American Nightmare, Cody
Miami, Florida has erupted for the arrival of the American Nightmare. A year ago at this very event, Cody Rhodes successfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship a part of SmackDown. A year later, he's back at Bad Blood in the midst of a tag team combat, hoping to vanquish the Bloodline alongside CM Punk, and I'm sure both men would like to move forward in trying to challenge for gold again. But if Solo and Fatu want to fight, When have we ever seen Cody and Punk back down? I am very interested in not only this contest, but the aftermath of it. Cody and Punk stand alongside to take on some newfound enemies in Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. You remember a couple of months ago at SummerSlam, Fatu and Solo, big tag team victory on that night as they defeated Seth freaking Rollins and Roman Reigns. Looking to do the same against two more All-Stars in CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Well, this one not about any kind of bloodline civil war. For Solo and Fatu, it's about retaining the Bloodline's dominance on Monday Night Raw. A victory for them tonight. And a victory for Roman Reigns possibly later on top of that. I don't think anybody's going to be denying who runs roughshod over Monday nights. CM Punk bringing the fight to Jacob Fatu, and oh, well, there you go already. What are we, half a second into this matchup? It feels like Tama Tonga up on the apron already, distracting CM Punk and allowing Fatu to take advantage. Again, I mentioned whether it was Solo's decision or not to have Tama and Loa out here. Remember back at SummerSlam, those two men were not accompanied Solo and Jacob. Solo and Jacob were flying solo, and they got the job done. There's a bit of a power struggle, as of late, to say the least, within the Bloodline between Solo and Roman, and then the High Chief, The Rock, arriving. Who knows who's really calling the shots? Either way, tag made to Solo Sikoa, who brings the fight to CM Punk. CM Punk was the one who got down the aisle this past Monday night on Raw and said himself and Cody Rhodes wanted this tag team matchup for Bad Blood, and he promised that either Fatu or Solo would be going to sleep. I'm sure CM Punk has full intentions of keeping that promise, but let's not forget what happened this past Monday night on Raw later than the night as well. Solo Sikoa falling short to the WWE Champion John Cena in singles action, and then all-out chaos after the contest. Jacob Fatu arriving on the scene, Cody Rhodes arriving on the scene, Solo Sikoa getting back into the ring, CM Punk drops Solo with a GTS, then Roman Reigns cutting CM Punk in half with a spear. Pier 6 brawl this past Monday night. Cody Rhodes, your legal competitor, now taking the fight to Solo Sikoa. There's a cheap shot by Solo on CM Punk. Not that we're surprised by any means. Cody Rhodes has got a bone to pick with Solo, the man who got into his face the night he arrived on Monday Night Raw via trade with SmackDown. Cody Rhodes has not forgotten. Oh, what the hell? Why would you even put your hands on the referee like that? Cody went for the pinfall. Tonga Loa pulling referee Daphne LaShawn out of the ring. Cody with a shot on Fatu. I mean, it is going to be a long night for Rhodes and Punk. Already twice in this matchup, these men have gotten involved. And there you see Tom in the back of your screen moments ago, exposing the steel underneath that turnbuckle. This is Solo Sikoa's bloodline, all right. Now, I don't know what's left of Solo's vision, of Solo's mission, if he's following his own or somebody else's, but this is certainly familiar tactics out of the bloodline either way. So many damn questions surrounding that family anymore after the civil war that's erupted over the last few months. I don't even know who's in charge, who to think, what to think. What I do know is Cody Rhodes and CM Punk want to put these two men down tonight. Solo Sikoa, as we were talking about before the chaos ensued after the interference. There's a little double team action by the family. As we were discussing, again, Cody Rhodes arrived on Monday Night Raw, was traded via SmackDown. Solo Sikoa interrupted, threatened Cody Rhodes, saying Cody better stay out of the Bloodline's way, reminded Cody who runs Monday Night Raw. This is all after Cody said his intentions to eventually challenge for the WWE title, something Solo said he was going to do after he defeated Roman Reigns at Bash in Berlin, which of course we found out a few weeks later was not to be the case because the OTC put Solo in his place. Roman Reigns going to be the one challenging for the title later tonight. Still wonder how Solo feels about that. Right now it's Fatu sending Cody from pillar to post here, and now cutting him in half in the corner. Now Samoan Werewolf's got the American Nightmare exactly where he wants him, just as he's done a couple of times on Raw. leaving Cody where he stands. Solo Sikoa has threatened Cody Rhodes. Fatu has ambushed Cody Rhodes. There's another cheap shot. Not even worth acting surprised at this point. This is the bloodline we're talking about here. Cody Rhodes out to stick it to this family tonight. But Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa got other plans. They are wrestling their style of matchup right now. Beating down Cody Rhodes, not allowing a tag. Just looking to incapacitate the American Nightmare, the man who they started this problem with in the first place. CM Punk very daring to step into the line of fire of the bloodline, all to come to the aid of his longtime friend, Cody Rhodes. First time those two men have been on the same brand in years with each other. And Solo Sikoa with the headbutt off the middle rope. Cody's got to be gasping for air as he tries to crawl away to his friend in CM Punk. Oh, for the love of God. Call for disqualification or something. He's not even the legal man. How many damn cheap shots you gonna throw in this contest? Into the cover, off the hip attack in the corner. There's CM Punk breaking things up. Oh, look at that. Look at Solo putting his hands on Punk yet again. This is ridiculous. Cody and Punk aren't getting any room to breathe in this matchup because of Solo and Fatu's aggression, because of Tama and Loa's interference. This is exactly what the Bloodline came to Miami to do. Seek and destroy any adversaries. Step to the Bloodline, you will fall. And Cody Rhodes, wait a minute, sidestep, might have caught Fatu, pedigree! Down goes Fatu, into the cover, nearly putting this matchup done and away in a jiffy. Might not have gotten a 3 count, but he had to knock a couple of screws loose out of that Samoan werewolf. Into a disaster kick. Cody Rhodes saw an opportunity and he took it. Oh, hold on here. We'll let the argument ensue between Cody and I believe it's Tonga Loa at ringside who's yapping his gums at the American Nightmare. Well, just when you thought the tables were going to start to turn. There's Jacob Fatu now. In control, maybe not. Cody's still going to continue to fight back. Drop down, little signature of the arsenal of the Rhodes family. And now Fatu is the one, trapped in enemy territory. Tag made of the best in the world, CM Punk. They're in hot pursuit, and down goes the werewolf. Exactly what Cody and Punk needed. A little tandem offense, a little rally here. Get Miami on their feet, make some noise, throw the Bloodline off their game. Head scissors take down. Punk not going to allow Fatu to make the tag. Trying to get him out of territory. Into the enemy one. Classic knee into the corner. Miami loud, Miami proud, and the man all the way from the second city is the one standing tall at the given moment. CM Punk knew exactly what he was getting into 2 weeks ago on Raw when he came to the aid of Cody Rhodes. This is the fight he asked for. This is the fight he's going to get. Counter by Fatu, sending Punk into the corner. Oh, there's Punk. Saying, nuh-uh, not today. You're going to have to try harder than that. First time Punk and Fatu are locking horns since Jacob Fatu's arrival earlier this year. CM Punk has got the Samoan werewolf off his feet. Frankensteiner sends Jacob Fatu dead center of the ring. Oh, here we go again. Tonga Loa, get both of them the hell away from ringside. CM Punk distracted with his outside interference by Tama and Loa, and Jacob Fatu from behind. You know, at least it was more respectable when Solo and Fatu were fighting by themselves back at SummerSlam against Rollins and Reigns. Tonight they're at full strength. Solo now tagged in. CM Punk, however, not looking to allow the Bloodline to dictate the pace all over again. Punk on top. And the Macho Man elbow right to the heart. And a kick out by Solo. And Punk put Solo to sleep this past Monday night on Raw. I'm sure he'd love nothing more than to do it again. Solo Sikoa on a wobbly foundation. Punk looked to be grabbing him for whatever he had next. Solo able to sidestep, however. But I realized just in time, pop-up Samoan drop. Oh, count to 20. Devastating as it comes, maybe not. CM Punk trying to get up and let adrenaline fuel him. That's easier said than done when you're in there with two wild Samoans. Punk trying to fight. Sending Solo over the top rope. I don't even know if he meant to, but there's no momentum. Gives him that only option, and now, oof! I'm not fancy about that. Solo Sikoa just taking the breath out of Punk's lungs. She chokes him on the top rope, and a cheap shot to Cody. Punk, however, still giving Solo a hard time, just breathing down his neck. Couple of strikes there. Now it's got Solo in all-star territory. Tag made to a former World Heavyweight Champion in Cody Rhodes. Cody and Solo back inside the ring just as their issues started a couple of weeks after SummerSlam on Raw. Cody Rhodes now looking to pick his next move wisely. Knows that the numbers are not in their favor tonight. Double spring into the crossbody. Ever impressive is Cody Rhodes. Well, hold on here. Cody's now being distracted by the bloodline at ringside. There was a tag to Fatu, and I don't think Cody even realized it. This is ridiculous tonight. Absolutely ridiculous. Every time you think Cody and Punk have got some signs of life in this matchup, the numbers of the bloodline are costing them everything. And now Fatu back in control in the blink of an eye. The fresh legs of Cody Rhodes were tagged in, and now they're getting worn down at a moment's notice. Jacob Fatu picking up Cody Rhodes, slamming him down. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And now, Impaler DDT. And watch CM Punk to make sure no 3 count is to be had. But you gotta believe if it wasn't for Punk, this thing would have been over. Well, Fatu taking a couple strikes at the best in the world, who's already had his bell rung a couple of times. Oh, wait a minute! Don't turn your back! Crossroads! Cover! Oh, and a kick out by Fatu! The Crossroads by the American Nightmare, but Jacob Fatu showing that he is bloodline built. How the hell did he kick out? I'll never know. But I know one thing, that's this fight is continuing, and Cody Rhodes is gonna try anything he's got to keep down Fatu. Ever impressive is the American Nightmare. Tag made to Punk, tag made to Solo. Here we go once more. Punk looking to revisit history of Monday Night on Raw, and GTS Solo, and turn his lights out once more. Solo looking to write a different story, and he may have just done that. Reversal into the belly-to-belly. CM Punk looking wobbly. Oh, down he goes. Spinning Solo, and Cody's going to break up the pinfall this time. And Punk and Cody have been fighting the numbers, but this has been a hell of a fight overall. And this tag team battle, courtesy of Monday Night Raw, this rivalry that has been developing on Monday nights. Only one place to settle the score, and that's one of the most brutal nights of the WWE calendar. It's Bad Blood right here in the 305. Solo Sikoa has got a wounded CM Punk perched in the corner, being held up by nothing but the ropes. CM Punk, however, would say otherwise as he's got a little bit of fight left. There's a classic float over DDT by Punk. Oh, and again. Tonga Loa. They won't give Punk and Cody an ounce of breathe in this matchup. Another distraction. Punk's got to try to brush them off as Solo now comes from behind, sends Punk into the ropes. Up and over he goes. Oof! Tried for a cheap shot, but Cody was ready for him that time. Yeah, Solo thinking otherwise. And now Punk with a shot. Solo might have costed himself trying to target Cody Rhodes. You see CM Punk still got some fight. And when doesn't he? We saw CM Punk be pushed to the absolute brink of his limits all the way back at SummerSlam in that bloody steel cage match against the ring general Gunther, which he was victorious in. Punk willing to go to those same depths tonight as he's got Solo perched precariously for a little plunge. That's gotta do it. Far from Fatu. But a kick out by Solo nonetheless. Oh my goodness. The pressure is on the bloodline tonight. And Punk and Cody want nothing more than to vanquish one of the most dangerous threats in the history of Monday Night Raw. Oh, and that time he caught Cody slipping. That coward. Uh-oh. Solo. Samoan spike to CM Punk. And I don't think he's done. It's about sending a message. It's about asserting the dominance. Another one. No Cody in sight. Punk left for dead. Wow. The numbers game of the bloodline. The physicality of Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa, more dangerous than ever. And unfortunately, it was just too much for the All-Stars that came together in recent weeks. The longtime friends. It was too much for CM Punk and Cody Rhodes to handle here tonight. All the outside interference, all the backs that were turned in this matchup, Solo and Fatu had the edge before the bell even sounded. Well, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk gave it their all. But after Solo's loss to his own flesh and blood Roman Reigns back at the Bash in Berlin, I think it's safe to say that the bloodline, at least for now, is back on track. Punk and Cody leaving everything inside of the ring tonight. But two Samoan spikes, too much for anybody to handle inside of that ring, including the best in the world.
Here are your winners, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline.
I don't know who's called the shots in this family anymore. The Civil War seems to be behind us. A cohesive unit, I guess. But what we do know is the result. And that's Fatu and Solo, along with Tama and Loa, are standing tall in the middle of Miami. The Bloodline victorious at Bad Blood. Well, Bad Blood is all about settling scores, and coming up next, it is the last woman standing matchup for the Women's World Championship. Iyo Sky has defeated Raquel Rodriguez twice this year. Can she go for a three-peat, or will Raquel become a three-time Women's World Champion? Some rivalries are built in moments. This one was built in battle. For over a year on SmackDown, Iyo Sky and Raquel Rodriguez have pushed each other to the brink. Two women obsessed with proving who truly stands at the top of the division. At WrestleMania, they wrote their masterpiece. Two competitors colliding on the grandest stage. And when the dust settled, it was Iyo Sky who walked out as Women's World Champion. Months later, Raquel returned. Not just different, but dangerous, colder, crueler, a powerhouse with one target in mind. At SummerSlam, history repeated itself. Raquel's power against Iyo's brilliance. A rematch with a darker tone, but once again, the genius of the Sky found a way to survive. Iyo thought the chapter was closed, but Raquel had other plans. Raquel believes this story doesn't end until she becomes a 3-time world champion. And now, Iyo Sky knows there's only one way to finish this fight. No rules, no restrictions, anything goes. At Bad Blood, the only path to victory is to destroy the other. The woman who leaves Miami as champion will be the one who is the last woman standing.
The following contest is a last woman standing match and is for the WWE Women's World Championship.
La ruda, la más ruda.
New attitude, new look, same goal. Big Mommy Cool is here at Bad Blood to make history, to become the only 3-time Women's World Champion in the title's lineage. Raquel Rodriguez has certainly made a lot of changes over the last couple of months, has become more destructive inside of that ring than ever before. But there is still one caveat when you look back at Raquel's 2025, and that is her inability to out-wrestle Iyo Sky when the Women's World Championship is on the line. Luckily for Raquel, she does not have to out-wrestle Iyo Sky tonight. She has to incapacitate Iyo Sky. This fight free to go anywhere here in Miami, Florida. No rules or restrictions, no countouts or disqualifications. Raquel Rodriguez just needs to find a way to make sure Iyo Sky does not answer the referee's count of 10. But is it back in the mind of Raquel Rodriguez that this woman has owned her in 2025? Raquel Rodriguez lost the Women's World Championship to Iyo Sky back in March at WrestleMania. The genius has held on to the gold ever since. Of course, there's been other challengers along the way, but Raquel Rodriguez and Iyo Sky's story resurfacing in the summer. Iyo Sky yet again defeating Raquel back at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, to retain that title. It looked for a moment there as if the beautiful madness Julia was trying to step up on SmackDown and challenge Iyo Sky. Raquel was having none of that. And Raquel slowly but surely found a victory over Iyo Sky in the midst of a tag team matchup and earned her way to one more opportunity at the Women's World title. This one gonna be much different than WrestleMania and SummerSlam. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, stopping these two women from tearing each other apart and leaving the KCI Center as the Women's World Champion.
Introducing the challenger from Rio Grande Valley, Texas, Raquel Rodriguez. And her opponent from Tokyo, Japan, the WWE Women's World Champion, Iyo Sky.
Well, the Casilla Center here in Miami, Florida, the battlefield for this contest between Raquel Rodriguez and Iyo Sky. The fight free to go anywhere. No countouts, no disqualifications, no pinfalls or submissions. This match ends when one of these two women just can't get back up and keep fighting. Referee Jessica Carr of SmackDown assigned for this battle as we are underway. Raquel, Iyo, Chapter 3 in 2025. The longtime historians know this rivalry goes all the way back to 2024. There is so much bad blood, pun intended, between these two women. Raquel has been 2 times before Women's World Champion. Dating back to her first reign in May of 2024, won the second on the first SmackDown of this year, but Iyo Sky has held it ever since the grandest stage, that being WrestleMania. Should be very interesting to see how these two styles mesh in this kind of battle. We've seen Raquel lean a hell of a lot more into her power and dominance, her strength and size in recent months. Iyo always willing to rely on her high-risk, high-reward attitude. With the last woman standing stipulation, remains to be seen how the styles will be effective. Iyo Sky just trying to set the early precedent here. Obviously no need for a feeling out process. This is far from the first time these two women have been inside the ring with each other. Remember this past Thursday night on SmackDown, the pick your poison between Iyo and Raquel. Raquel choosing NXT's Lola Vice, who's from right here in Miami to battle Iyo Sky. Great contest there. Iyo was able to pick up the victory. Iyo chose the beautiful Madness Julie as Raquel's opponent. That matchup going to a double countout. Raquel would continue to beat down Julie until Iyo made the save, and then Iyo and Raquel taking the fight amidst the WWE Universe in the Kia Center in Orlando. Right now it is Iyo Sky and it is Raquel Rodriguez, and that fight, as we previously mentioned, free to go anywhere in the Kia Center here in Miami as Iyo Sky gets set over the top rope. Raquel Rodriguez, rest assured, isn't going to hold any punches tonight and is going to lean heavily on the last woman standing stipulation. Raquel has been unable to pin Iyo Sky in 2025. Now she finds herself in a situation where she doesn't have to. Could be exactly what Raquel Rodriguez needs to finally best Iyo Sky and become a 3-time history-making Women's World Champion. Already seen the Cruiserweight Championship change hands tonight. The WWE Women's Championship from Monday Night Raw changing hands twice. After that Roxanne Perez Money in the Bank cash-in. Could see another championship change hands before our very eyes here in this last woman standing matchup. Up on the stage now, up on the steel ramp. Oh my goodness! Iyo stomping the heart out of Raquel and crushing her at the end of that ramp, right on that steel grate. That is not good for Raquel Rodriguez. Some of those diamond plates might be imprinted in her lower back right now, and Raquel obviously realizing after that big-time maneuver, a little sense of urgency coming over her, and she's trying to not allow Iyo Sky to dictate where this fight progresses. Iyo Sky down, referee Jessica Carr doing what she's there to do. The only thing she's there to do tonight, and that's call for a count. Oh, watch that ledge. Not a far fall, but with concrete down beneath, you certainly don't want to come crashing down on it. These two women fighting precariously up on the stage here at Bad Blood. Iyo throwing some shots on Raquel, and oh, Raquel down on the concrete. And Iyo Sky with a 450 splash off the ledge. It ain't that far of a fall, but with concrete on the floor, and then Iyo Sky coming on top of you. I mean, Raquel Rodriguez just got crushed. And Raquel back on her feet, realizing that a third opportunity to become Women's World Champion. I mean, these title opportunities don't come around every day. Tonight may be now or never for Raquel. If there's ever a night for Raquel to push herself past her limits and let adrenaline fuel her, tonight's the night Big Mommy Cool's got to shift it into that gear. This fight continuing amidst the WWE Universe here in the Kia Center in Miami, Florida. Absolutely nothing referee Jessica Carr or anybody here in Miami can do about it. This fight ends when Iyo and Raquel beat each other to a pulp, and one of them can't get back up. And that's exactly what this rivalry has led to in recent months on SmackDown. Raquel's ambition, hell-bent to become champion again. Iyo Sky's desire to prove she is better than Raquel time and time again and continue to hold on to the title. Surrounded by concrete and members of the WWE Universe. I don't know, out there in that staging area, those tables are there for members of the WWE officials. Iyo Sky trying to fight back and make sure she's not going to be eating any wood tonight. Raquel Rodriguez may be in trouble. Now it's Raquel up against an opposite table. Those aren't there for Iyo and Raquel, but I don't think they give a damn. Now it's Raquel fighting back, and oh no, not on the concrete floor. Man, that's gotta hurt like hell. We said it's the most brutal night on the WWE calendar. It is bad blood. This show didn't earn its name for no reason. Iyo getting back up, but at what cost? Oh no, Raquel slamming Iyo Sky right through the table. It's over. Raquel about to become a three-time Women's World Champion. The referee Jessica Carr at the count of 7. Iyo Sky somehow starting to stir. But look at the car wreck that has been made amongst the WWE Universe thanks to Raquel Rodriguez's actions towards the champion. Iyo slammed on the concrete, then put through the table, and now the fight has finally been taken back to ringside. This is exactly what you expect from the last woman standing matchup. These two women not going to hold anything back tonight. They can't. It's all about the women's world title. Iyo Sky not looking to let that title out of her grasp, and Raquel knows she might not get another opportunity. Iyo Sky down, and Raquel Rodriguez, meanwhile, is going searching underneath the ring, sending that trash can into the ring, and now runs over Iyo Sky just as she gets back to her feet. Raquel has obviously got a game plan, has had a hell of a lot of ideas coming into this matchup. Oh no! All the way, neck breaker right on the steel trash can. Look at that can. Flattened by the body of Iyo Sky, who nearly lost her Women's World Championship because of it. Iyo back to her feet, but barely. And Raquel, like a shark that smells blood in the water. Iyo Sky able to counter out for a moment. And Io's had to have so much taken out of her just in the last 2-3 minutes or so. But the offense by Raquel, and there's Iyo Sky striking with some of her best. Bullet train attack into the corner. And now it's Raquel looking up at the lights in the Casilla Center here in South Beach. Iyo Sky's now going searching underneath the ring. She's got the ladder. Well, she momentarily might not have needed it. Raquel Rodriguez back on her feet. Iyo Sky with a running knee takes down Raquel. Iyo Sky has introduced a ladder into play and now has got it perched in the corner. Anything goes in last woman standing. And Raquel gonna meet the steel. I'll tell you, when Raquel put Iyo through that table a number of weeks ago on SmackDown, this rivalry got taken to the next level. Io's out for revenge tonight as she just eats the ladder that she introduced. Raquel Rodriguez shutting down the rally of the Women's World Champion, and now, full head of steam, once again sends Iyo into the ladder and now crushes her. Just when you thought Iyo Sky was starting to map out a new blueprint, Raquel Rodriguez saying, "Nuh-uh, we're following my game plan." Iyo trying to get back to her feet, but I mean, read the body language. She may be out on her feet. And now Raquel has got a table from underneath the ring. Iyo Sky trying to fight back. Raquel might have took too long, gave Iyo a moment of R&R, and down goes Raquel Rodriguez. The challenger out momentarily. Iyo Sky, look at the dive. Down goes the challenger. By force of the champion. Iyo Sky ain't never been afraid to throw her body into the wind, put caution in harm's way, all in the mean, especially tonight of leaving as Women's World Champion. Iyo back underneath the ring. Now she's got that Singapore cane, the old kendo stick making an appearance here at Bad Blood. Iyo may not need it. Oh, no, again, a referee. Jessica Carr at the count of 8. Iyo Sky trying to go swinging, but Raquel took all of her seconds to try to get her wits about her, and now snatches the kendo stick away from Iyo Sky. And once again, the plunder that Iyo Sky introduced is being used against her. Iyo Sky trying to shake it off and fight back. Oh my goodness. Raquel Rodriguez trying out for the Miami Dolphins with that throw. Off the sidewalk slam. And we may be on the verge of a brand new champion here at Bad Blood. Oh, hold on, I think Raquel's got other plans. I think Raquel's looking for a statement-making victory against Iyo Sky tonight. Set it up that table. Big Mommy Cool, obviously, is looking to make sure there's no questions asked in her pursuit of the Women's World Championship. She's got that kendo stick again. Took too long. Iyo Sky going swinging. Iyo Sky at home plate. Looking to hit a home run. Unloaded with that kendo stick. Raquel Rodriguez feeling the effects, and she eats the kendo stick again. Oof! The physicality of this last woman standing matchup. To be expected, yes, but it doesn't make it any easier to watch. These two women have had two great wrestling matches this year, but this one, as we mentioned, right in a completely different story. Raquel Rodriguez in the corner. Iyo Sky in hot pursuit. Raquel off the counter, however. Uh-oh. The challenger now out of the corner with that corkscrew splash. That might have been all she wrote for what's been a great Women's World Championship reign for Iyo Sky thus far. Count of 8 again. Iyo Sky starting to stir. Raquel Rodriguez right there. Not giving Iyo any room to breathe here at Bad Blood. Iyo now brought to the opposite corner. Big Mommy Cool's wheels are a-spinning, but so are the genius of the Sky. Tries for an open hand strike. Raquel just brushes it away. Iyo Sky ragdolled over the top rope. Man, oh man. Iyo Sky looked like a body double from a 90s sitcom being sent from one side of the screen to the other that time. Raquel Rodriguez now with Iyo Sky up against the barricades. The only thing keeping her up. Well, I guess don't discount the Women's World Champion. Oh, down goes Raquel off a mean kick by Iyo. Uh-oh, Iyo Sky up on the barricade. Walking the tightrope. And a Paradise, the Meteora, takes down the challenger. Iyo Sky starting to get fired up. With seemingly Miami behind her. A lot of supporters here in South Beach for the Women's World Champion, who looks to retain her gold over one of her greatest, if not her absolute greatest rival. Raquel Rodriguez in the ring. On wobbly foundation, there's that signature drop kick by Iyo. Does anybody land it more flush than Iyo Sky? She's got that kendo stick again. Oh, Raquel once again snatches it. Much to the chagrin of this Miami audience, and just shattered that Singapore cane on the flesh of Iyo Sky. Well, win, lose, or draw, Iyo's going to be picking splinters out of her flesh after this matchup. Raquel repositioning that table. A table and a ladder still precautiously in the ring. Precariously, we should say. Obviously, I don't know what these two women have in mind, but you got to believe it involves one word, and that's disaster for the other. Again, Raquel has been unable to pin Iyo Sky's shoulders for a 3 count in 2025. Tonight, she doesn't have to do it. She's just got to incapacitate the champion, which for some may seem harder. But when you look at Raquel's track record the last few months, it's something she's shown she can do. However, Iyo Sky trying to make sure that's not going to be the case. She's got her eyes on that table. Perching Raquel on that table, but I don't know if that open hand palm strike is going to be enough to knock Raquel out for whatever Iyo Sky's got in mind. Raquel Rodriguez, that's about what I expected. Shake it off the cobwebs. Iyo Sky was taking too much time, and now Iyo getting hung up in the middle rope. That open hand palm strike by Iyo, tough, yes. Shake you up a little bit, absolutely, but not a knockout blow, especially when we're talking about Raquel. Big Mommy Cool has come to Miami to collect. Wants to be walking down South Beach later tonight with her shades on and gold around her waist, celebrating a victory. Oof! Raquel grabbing the ladder there. Remember, Iyo was the one who introduced earlier on. Iyo Sky, now or never, trying to fight back. Yeah, what a fight this has been. Last woman standing here as Iyo's now once again has got her eyes. She's got her grasp on Raquel Rodriguez. Iyo's obviously trying to go for broke here. What she's failing to realize is Raquel is not out cold. The only way Iyo's going to get Raquel to stay on that table is if Raquel's lights are off for good. Iyo can't get too driven by whatever that game plan, whatever that idea is, because if she keeps going for it, it may come back to haunt her. That's the second time now we've seen Iyo Sky cost herself trying to set up whatever the hell she's got in mind, a Hail Mary to put Raquel Rodriguez away. Raquel may just be too in the know at the given moment, maybe too aware of her surroundings for Iyo Sky to try to go for that Hail Mary. Raquel setting up the table this time, away from Iyo Sky's ideal position, and now she's got the ladder back in play. Well, she may not need it. Oh, but again, Iyo Sky back up, and Raquel's realizing, all right, maybe I am going to need this ladder. And down it goes, right into the flesh of Iyo Sky. You notice the last couple of minutes, the body language starting to read fatigue. They're starting to slow down a little bit. This matchup has been brutal, and it's written all over Iyo Sky and Raquel Rodriguez. Now Iyo grabbing that ladder. Oh my God! Rearranging the face of Raquel. Oh no. The hell's Iyo Sky got in mind? She's climbing the ladder. This ain't a ladder match, folks. There's no championship up there. Iyo's egging her challenger on. The history between these two women has come to this, a Pier 6 brawl high atop Miami, Florida. Iyo, I don't know if she picked her spot wisely. Oh, maybe she did. Down goes Raquel. Not from up there. Iyo Sky over the moonsault off the ladder. And she's not done. Miami has come unglued. Raquel might have had the wind knocked out of her for good, but Iyo Sky says no, we're not over yet. She's going back up. Raquel's on the table. Going for broke. Down through the table. And the count begins. Iyo Iyo was put through a table by Raquel a number of weeks ago on SmackDown. And it seemed as if Iyo was hell-bent on doing the same to Raquel Rodriguez tonight. And Iyo Sky is the last woman standing. What a fight. What a rivalry this has been. Not even just in 2025, dating back to the times their paths crossed last year as well. Raquel Rodriguez, she's a great talent, no doubt about it. Former two-time women's world champion. You may not like her new attitude in recent months. You may not like who she keeps as company. You don't have to like Raquel. But you gotta acknowledge that she's tough as nails. But you also gotta acknowledge this. In 2025, Iyo Sky has owned Raquel inside of the squared circle. WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and here at Bad Blood in Last Woman Standing.
Here is your winner, and still a WWE Women's World Champion, Iyo Sky.
An incredible performance by both women. But Iyo Sky's reign that kicked off all the way back in March at WrestleMania lives on. Iyo not only is your last woman standing, but is still world champion. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Nomination Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. Well, I cannot wait for our trip to the Big Apple, New York City, just 3 weeks from tonight for the live premiere event from Madison Square Garden, the 2025 Fall Classic Survivor Series. And you gotta wonder, who is heading in to one of the biggest nights of the WWE calendar as the undisputed WWE Champion? Well, we are going to find out coming up next here at Bad Blood. It is the OTC, Roman Reigns, who looks to bring the WWE Championship back to his bloodline. But he's up against the never-seen 17 greatest of all time, John Cena.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the undisputed WWE Championship.
You know, I don't know the relationship at this point between Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline. But if there's any innuendo, if there's any momentum on the side of Roman Reigns after Solo and Fatu's victory earlier, that can only be a plus for the OTC here tonight. So much has happened in the bloodline over the last couple of months. And just in the last 3 weeks, since Bash in Berlin, Roman Reigns defeating Solo to rightfully once again be crowned Tribal Chief. Of course, that matchup officiated by the High Chief, The Rock, who said it was time for the Bloodline Civil War to come to an end. Roman had defeated Solo. Moments later, The Rock dropped Roman Reigns with a rock bottom. We were left with nothing but questions, and quite frankly, we still are. 24 hours later on Raw, The Rock came out to say his piece, said he needed to remind Roman Reigns of the pecking order of the Bloodline, and there was no ill will towards the OTC. He then goes on to award Roman this opportunity here tonight, an opportunity to become the WWE Champion. The pressure is now on the shoulders of that man, Roman Reigns, to bring the undisputed title back to the family. You gotta wonder, the High Chief The Rock drops Roman Reigns with a rock bottom, then gets him this opportunity. In any event, if Roman Reigns were to come up short to John Cena tonight, where does that leave the relationship between Roman Reigns and The Rock? All questions, all speculation. At the end of the day, we may never see that day, because if Roman wins the WWE Championship tonight, I'm sure all the Bloodline are going to be happy campers. And what's going through the mind of Roman Reigns? A couple of weeks ago, John Cena questioned the OTC. Say, when you come to Bad Blood, when you come to Miami, who you fighting for? You fighting for The Rock? You fighting for your family? Or are you fighting for yourself? Roman kind of diminished John Cena's questions, told him not to worry about any of Roman Reigns' motives. John Cena tonight is here to defend the title. Roman's here to bring the title back to a family who, like it or not, whether Roman likes it or not, has run roughshod on Monday Night Raw. The OTC wants the gold, but standing in his way is the franchise. The never seen 17, the greatest of all time. The champ is in Miami. And John Cena is focused as ever could be. He knows what stands before him tonight. Another one of the all-time greats in this industry's history. Roman Reigns out to take away John Cena's record-breaking 17th championship. But Cena, who is en route to retirement next March at WrestleMania, wants to ride those wheels till they fall off. And I don't think he's looking to let loose of that WWE Championship here tonight. You know, John Cena's been a part of another epic battle here on Miami soil. Back in 2012, one-on-one with The Rock. Oh, how interesting this is here tonight in Miami, Florida.
Introducing the challenger from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the OTC, Roman Reigns. And his opponent from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion, the greatest of all time, John Cena.
Certainly a big fight feel in your Monday Night Raw respective main event for the Casilla Center here in Miami. Two of the all-time greats clashing for the richest prize, the undisputed WWE Championship. For a night about settling scores, there's not really a lot of bad blood between Roman Reigns and John Cena. The Rock awarded Roman Reigns this WWE Championship opportunity and told him to get the job done. Well, here we go. Cena and Roman Reigns. What a sight to see here in Miami for the WWE title. Over the face-off this past Monday night on Raw, Roman Reigns had come to the ring. He had cut CM Punk in half with a spear, which was very, I don't want to say coincidental, but I certainly would never see a world where Roman Reigns was coming to the aid of Solo Sikoa, so you gotta wonder if Roman Reigns was even the one making the decision to go down there and spear CM Punk. But either way, moments later, John Cena getting back inside the ring, and the heated stare down between these two men before Raw went off the air this past Monday night. It all comes down to this: Roman Reigns and John Cena. Cena's already retained the championship once in this reign. 3 weeks ago at the Bash in Berlin, when he defeated not only the ring general Gunther, but also CM Punk in that classic triple threat matchup. Same night, Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa to retain his title as the Tribal Chief. And moments later, of course, get dropped by The Rock. So many questions surrounding the Anoa'i family on Monday Night Raw. But as we said earlier, one thing that is not to be questioned was the result. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu defeating CM Punk and Cody Rhodes by hook or by crook later tonight. Will Roman Reigns follow suit? Roman Reigns right now in control over John Cena, and I'm sure this is the pace that Roman would love to wrestle. Dare I say, these two pretty evenly matched in terms of size and strength. I wouldn't say one has the advantage over the other. This may come down to who gets that ever so deciding final knockout blow, as I'm sure we get the championship rounds between champion and challenger. Miami loud and proud as John Cena off the reversal. Up goes Roman and down he goes. Miami, Florida may be split tonight between champion and challenger, which is only going to make this that much more fun. Cena dropping the leg on the challenger in the OTC, and Roman Reigns still alive. The 305 on their feet here in the Casillas Center as John Cena whips Roman Reigns off and throws his body at Roman with that shoulder block. I'll tell you, we may be questioning the last couple of weeks of build-up to this matchup between Roman and John Cena and everything going on with the Anoa'i family, but one thing is for sure, the anticipation for this matchup amongst the WWE Universe is as real as it gets. John Cena, the greatest of all time, in my personal opinion. Roman Reigns has an argument to be on that Mount Rushmore as well. And here they are, clashing their past meeting again for the undisputed WWE title on such a massive night. John Cena ever so confident. Said back in June when he returned to Monday Night Raw that he would hang up the jorts, put away the shoes once and for all, come WrestleMania next March. I had a goal to become a 17-time WWE champion, and he did just that back in the summer at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns looking to spoil the never-seen 17-time championship reign of the GOAT. Roman Reigns got what he wanted that time off the fireman's carry position, knocked John Cena down, now sends the franchise into the far corner. Couple of shoulders, and an emphatic clubbing blow to the back. Now it's Roman Reigns who's oozing with confidence in the middle of Miami, Florida. Bad blood extremely anticipated tonight, and this is one of the reasons why. Will we be crowning a new WWE champion, or will John Cena stay on top is the question. I'm sure Roman Reigns kept an eye on that tag team bout earlier on. Obviously has had a lot of issues with Solo and his group over the last couple of months. But who's to say they ain't on the same side at this point? I don't even know. Roman Reigns, reversal for reversal, and just spiked John Cena with the DDT. Roman now into the cover after Cena went for a ride, and John Cena able to kick out, but a couple of screws may be loose amongst the franchise player of World Wrestling Entertainment. John Cena set to the corner once more. Roman Reigns ready to throw some haymakers. He'll throw 1,000 of them if it means keeping John Cena down for good. And there's another clubbing blow to the back. That's smart by Roman Reigns. You take out the lower back at John Cena. He ain't going to be able to be as strong as he would have liked, maybe avoiding the AA inadvertently if you do that. Cena can't get Roman off his feet. You're taking away one of Cena's best maneuvers. Only speculation there. Roman's game plan in this matchup might be far different from all we know. He is the OTC, a master at the game plans, but there's John Cena making sure the offense by Roman isn't going to keep up. Cena fired up after that reversal. Man, how many closed fists have been thrown just in the last couple of minutes as the bell sounded? These two men not afraid to brawl, and an ever emphatic spine buster by Cena. Roman crawling away from the corner, but I don't think there's any running from the fire that John Cena's bringing to the table here at Bad Blood. Roman back into the corner, another closed fist. Cena's now got Roman on top. Roman not usually leaving the soles of his boots. Wait a minute here, what's Cena got in mind? Oh, little Frankensteiner by Cena. Uh-oh, in position. Looking for a little five-knuckle shuffle. And Cena into the cover on Roman Reigns. And it's only a 2 as Roman Reigns pops the shoulder up once more. John Cena digging deep down in his bag of tricks with a Frankensteiner off the top, sending Roman Reigns in and out. Little five-knuckle shuffle on top of that. Don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns had to have something taken out of him, but not enough to get a 3 count. John Cena may not have gotten the victory he wanted that time, but what he is having at the given moment is the control over this matchup. That's exactly what the franchise needs. Roman Reigns looking up at the lights, at least for a moment. In the Garcia Center here, Cena's perched on the middle. Look at the high elevation DDT. Gotta have precision to be able to grab your opponent out of midair like that and slam him down with the DDT. And look at Cena with a little STFU on Roman Reigns. Oh, Roman Reigns too close to the ropes that time. Referee Rod Zapata called for the rope break. But John Cena showing that he is willing to dig deep in his bag of tricks and throw everything he's got. Superman punch. And a kick out by Cena. After the STF, Roman Reigns knew he needed to throw something big, and he went to one of his heaviest shots, the Superman punch that nearly put away the GOAT. Not much of an enthusiastic kick out by John Cena. He really may be banged up after that shot. Roman now looking to rub some salt in the wounds, outrunning John Cena, and turns him inside out with the clothesline. OTC wants the WWE Championship in the corner. Wants the spear. Oh, Cena got the knee up. Cena got the knee up. A counter by the never seen 17. And now, attitude adjustment by John. And it's a kick out by Roman Reigns. Oh, what a well-timed reversal into the attitude adjustment. But not enough to keep down the OTC, who's got the pressure of his family on his shoulders tonight. The consequences for Roman Reigns' failure only known to, I'm sure, few. But Roman Reigns is out to not meet that destiny. He's out to meet another. He's out to win the WWE Championship. Uh-oh. Spear through the ropes and out of the ring. My goodness. Roman cutting Cena in half. John Cena down at ringside and ragdolled back inside the ring as the OTC spears him into oblivion and now into the lateral. And Cena with a kick out. How the hell is Cena still fighting after he was just sent off the ring down to the floor with a spear by Roman Reigns of all people. I don't think Roman knows the answer either. So he's just gonna keep fighting to try to ensure he snatches the championship away from John Cena here tonight in Miami. OTC standing tall, but does he have anything left to throw at John Cena that Cena hasn't fought back from already? Saw Roman Reigns get pushed to his limits last month at the Bash in Berlin. He was able to survive Solo Sikoa. I mean, no disrespect, but John Cena, completely different animal from Solo. Roman's gonna have to dig even deeper tonight. Cena, running power slam. Roman Reigns at a moment's notice looking up at the lights of the Casilla Center here, and now John is heading to the top rope. Awaiting Roman Reigns' arrival to his feet. Oh, Cena caught. Powerbomb by Roman. Stacks him up for the pin. Not over yet. Cena looked to be going for that leg drop off the top. A classic maneuver that he only pulls out when he needs it. But Roman Reigns saw it coming. Counters him. Catches him out of midair. And the powerbomb. Oh, and Cena going deep. John Cena might have shown his best hand, and Roman Reigns now back in control at a moment's notice. Roman Reigns maybe on the verge of capturing championship gold. Cena sent to the corner. Roman Reigns has obviously got some kind of idea here. Uh-oh, Cena down the bottom rope. Roman Reigns, little drive-by action. You can outline Cena in the middle of the ring, but Roman Reigns has got a different idea. Spear! Into the cover. Cena kicks out. Cena kicks out. Roman Reigns can't believe it. Off the drive-by, then the spear, but John Cena showing his guts, showing his resilience, and showing why he is the absolute GOAT. Roman Reigns has got to be feeling the pressure continuing to mount as John Cena survives the spear. And now Roman whipping Cena off into the far buckles. I don't know what it's gonna take. Another Superman punch, another spear, whatever Roman's got. It's time to strike. He's gotta do it now while Cena's wounded. Big boot. John Cena barely getting to his feet, and Roman saying, get back down. Roman Reigns in the corner, plotting his next move. Oh, John Cena. Nice counter that time, explodes on Roman Reigns, throws a right hand. Maybe not for long, counter by Roman. OTC now whips Cena off. Look at the power into the Samoan drop. John Cena trying to show some daylight. Roman Reigns has got other plans. Roman back into the corner. John Cena has got to be running on E at this point. Hold on, counter by John, another reversal by the franchise, and Cena, second attitude adjustment. But Roman Reigns survives. It was that same counter into an AA that beat Solo Sikoa this past Monday night on Raw. Unfortunately, not enough to put the OTC down for good. But what it did do was get John Cena to a new groove. You never throw a clothesline at the franchise. One more time in South Beach. And for the second time in the match, dropping the 5, knuckle shuffle. And Cena not going for the cover just yet. Cena with his eyes locked on Roman. Could want one more. Attitude adjustment. Grabbing a hold of the OTC. Oof. Little STO there. Oh no. Well, this is risky by Cena. He already got caught out of midair earlier on. You don't want to have that happen again, John. Oh, that time it lands flush. Cena felt confident. Roman was dazed. The leg drop off the top. But the OTC gets John Cena off of him. And Roman Reigns' opportunity, his hopes, his dreams to win the WWE title live it on. I don't think Cena can believe it. Both of these men had a bit of a stalemate. Jockeying for position. Roman starting to tee off. Cena now. Chin breaker. Roman sent to the corner. John Cena throwing everything he's got, which is probably not much behind that punch. And I think at this point, same can be said about Roman. Looking for the guillotine on Cena here. We saw the STF out of John earlier. Now Roman with a submission hold. Trying to choke the life out of the champion. Cena's got to be gasping for air at this point. We may have a new WWE champion via pass out. Cena struggling to hold on. Uh-oh. Look at the strength by John. Able to counter. Cena was fading. Cena nearly lost the WWE Championship to being choked out by the OTC. And the franchise starting to fight back. Shoulder block. Roman now stuck between a rock and a hard place in the corner. John Cena gonna meet him on the top rope. Oh no! Roman in trouble! Avalanche attitude adjustment! Roman getting sent from pillar to post by the GOAT! And it's over! John Cena retains the title! What a match between the OTC and the franchise player! Roman Reigns threw everything he had in his arsenal, even maneuvers that we haven't seen out of Roman Reigns in quite some time, like that guillotine choke he had it on Cena moments ago. But John Cena doing what he has made a career out of, rising to the occasion, never giving up, and giving Roman Reigns hell from bell to bell. It took not one, not two, but three attitude adjustments. The final coming from the heavens, off the top, to finally put away the OTC Roman Reigns and to award John Cena his championship.
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed WWE Champion, the greatest of all time,
The never-seen 17-time championship reign of the greatest of all time lives on. A resilient performance by John Cena as he turns away the OTC at Bad Blood. Oh no! Well, ladies and gentlemen, we were not expecting the High Chief, The Rock, to be here tonight. But in his hometown of Miami, Florida, The Rock is at Bad Blood. And he looks to be in some mood after the failure of the OTC Roman Reigns. Well, Roman Reigns is out for the count at a ringside. John Cena's in the ring, and The Rock, slowly but surely, has arrived here in the Casilla Center in South Beach. We have not seen The Rock look this serious, look this infuriated, since he returned on the Raw after SummerSlam and got involved in this whole thing. Making John Cena and everybody here in Miami wait. Whatever's on The Rock's mind, I gotta believe it ain't good for Roman Reigns. The Rock dropped Roman with a rock bottom at the Bash in Berlin. Said it was to remind the tribal chief of the pecking order of the bloodline. Awarded Roman this opportunity tonight. Told the OTC to bring the title back to the bloodline. And moments ago, Roman Reigns failed. Well, let us also talk about this elephant in the room. We're here in Miami, Florida. The site of once in a lifetime at WrestleMania 28 in 2012 when The Rock defeated John Cena in the main event. The Rock ain't in no mood to revisit history. I got no words, ladies and gentlemen, nor answers for this. John Cena's back in the ring, standing eye to eye with The Rock. The champion stepping up to the plate. The Rock doing so as well. Hold on here. Rock bottom to John Cena. Well, I'm going to be honest. I thought he was out here for Roman Reigns. And The Rock leaving the ring. For weeks, we've had nothing but questions. And tonight, we leave with nothing more than that. Roman Reigns failed at the objective The Rock told him. The Rock arrives here in Miami, stares eye to eye with one of his greatest rivals in John Cena, drops Cena with a rock bottom, and now is leaving his hometown with a pissed off smug on his face. I got no words except the animosity surrounding the bloodline just continues to develop. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a night of shocking moments and classic battles. But coming up next, inside the most demonic structure known to mankind, Finn Balor meets Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship in Hell in a Cell. For 2 years, Damian Priest and Finn Balor stood side by side, brothers in arms, founders of the Judgment Day, a force that ruled Monday Night Raw with absolute authority. 3-time World Tag Team Champions, 2-time Tag Team of the Year. Together, they didn't just succeed, they dominated. But every empire eventually falls. And this one shattered in a single night. Back in March, on the Raw after WrestleMania, Finn Balor made a choice. A choice that drove a dagger straight into the heart of Damian Priest. Balor walked away without hesitation and without remorse. Finn claimed Priest brought it all on himself. That Damian wanted to break out on his own, abandon the Judgment Day, and chase glory without them. Priest denied, saying every move he ever made was for the good of the group, but Finn drew the line and Priest vowed to make him pay. Balor reshaped the Judgment Day in his own image, and SmackDown became his kingdom. They have run roughshod across the roster. The Prince became Mr. Money in the Bank, and the punishment, he had finally reached his breaking point. Priest crossed enemy lines again and again until he got exactly what he desired. At SummerSlam, he fought Balor one-on-one, and for a moment found his redemption. But later that same night, Finn Balor struck gold. He cashed in his contract and walked out as World Heavyweight Champion. In that moment, the fire inside Damian Priest became an inferno. Priest refused to let Balor bask in his success. The hunt continued, and now there's no turning back. At Bad Blood, their war enters the most unforgiving battlefield in WWE history. The Devil's Playground, a structure built for suffering, a match designed to end careers. Hell in a Cell. Damian Priest enters with months of betrayal burned into his soul, ready to tear down Balor's empire and finally claim a world championship. Finn Balor walks in with cold intention, determined to prove he was always the better man and to bury the last trace of Damian Priest once and for all. Two former brothers, one shattered bond, no escape, no mercy. The punishment, Damian Priest, the Prince, Finn Balor, for the World Heavyweight Championship inside Hell in a Cell.
The following is a Hell in a Cell match and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is main event time from Miami, Florida. Tonight's challenger, the punishment, Damian Priest. And although Damian Priest is hell-bent on winning the World Heavyweight Championship, a victory tonight would come with so much more. Would come with sticking it to Finn Balor once and for all for stabbing him in the back months ago. Their partnership, their friendship, flushed down the drain by the Prince, and Damian Priest has not forgotten. Priest beat Balor at SummerSlam. Balor won the World Heavyweight Championship 2 hours later, and this rivalry has only fired up ever since. But tonight, inside Hell in a Cell, they clash again. It all comes down to tonight. Oh my goodness. A very eerie feeling has just come over South Beach. Damian Priest awaits the arrival of Finn Balor, but I don't think he's getting the Prince. I think he's getting the Demon. Finn Balor has awoken the Demon to step inside Hell in a Cell. This is not what Damian Priest could have been hoping for tonight. The most dangerous, the most vicious side, the most violent side that Finn Balor has ever seen. And with the gold strapped around his waist, the Demon will stop at no cost to ensure that he walks out of Hell tonight as World Heavyweight Champion. Damian Priest promised he would send Finn Balor south of heaven, 6 feet under. I think that's where the Demon's been for quite some time, yet he's awoken here tonight. Business has picked up in your Bad Blood main event, and Damian Priest is in trouble. We have not seen the Demon since prior to Finn Balor's days in the Judgment Day. Seemingly a side of Finn Balor that was locked far away. But the split of the group, the arrival of the World Heavyweight Championship to this rivalry, and the setting that is Hell in the Cell has unlocked the Demon once more here tonight. High stakes, high reward. It's Hell in a Cell as the Judgment Day implodes and the championship is on the line. Big fight feel in Vice City. It is your main event for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Introducing the challenger from New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, Damian Priest. And his opponent, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Demon, Finn Balor.
Finn Balor says that if himself and Damian Priest are going to hell, the Demon's coming too. Damian Priest better shake off the shock of seeing this side of Finn Balor and focus in on the task at hand. The Heavyweight Championship of the world is on the line. Hell in a Cell is being lowered. And your main event is underway at Bad Blood. Damian Priest has beaten Finn Balor before, but he hasn't beaten the Demon before. This matchup has added a whole different ball game to it. And Finn Balor, aggressive off the opening bell, taking the fight to the punishment. Damian Priest has had a couple of opportunities, big singles opportunities throughout this year. Had a chance to win the WWE Championship back at the Royal Rumble in January. Made it to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. Some big matches that have not gone the way of Damian Priest, but the one that has was the one at SummerSlam against Finn. Finn realizing he needed something to throw Damian Priest off his game tonight, and I believe the return of the Demon may do just that. Damian Priest cannot let this persona that stands before him shock him to no ends tonight. Priest has got to fight, and remember that the Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Surrounded by the most demonic structure known to mankind, no disqualifications, pinfall or submission must take place inside of the ring as Damian Priest looking to meet the aggression of Finn Balor head on. This is not the first time these two men have been inside a Hell in a Cell together. The last time that these two men fought side by side was WrestleMania Sunday this year, where they took on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and failed to be victorious inside this very structure. Priest now looking for the victory. Finn Balor kicks out. Gotta wonder if that adds any familiarity for either of these superstars, or if the fact that they are not standing side by side, we should say, and standing across the ring from one another is just a completely different game plan. Finn Balor, the first to come in contact with the Hell in a Cell. Oof. And a kick right to Damian Priest's mush. Human flesh is not meant to come in contact with that kind of steel. It's ripped apart bodies before, it'll probably do so again here tonight in South Beach. Damian Priest and the Demon Finn Balor surrounded by the confines of this very structure. There must be a winner tonight, and an emphatic one at that for the World Heavyweight Championship. Oof. Only so much room to breathe out there, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. So Finn Balor collapsing at ringside, and Damian Priest sends a table into the ring. Anything goes here inside Hell in a Cell. Damian Priest, I think, might have shaken off the shock of seeing the arrival of the Demon, as now is starting to take control as Finn just rolling over those steel steps. That's gonna hurt like hell without even coming in massive contact with him. Those diamond-plated steps will rip you apart, rest assured. And if those don't, the steel surrounding you definitely will, as Balor delivers another kick to Priest. This brawl has commenced on the outside of the ring here at Bad Blood in Miami. Remember, it was Damian Priest who chose the stipulation for this contest after he defeated the rest of the Judgment Day in a 3-on-1 gauntlet matchup a number of weeks ago on SmackDown. Priest was the one who wanted Hell in a Cell. Finn Balor's the one who chose to up the ante with the return of the Demon. Well, both these men have tried to get the edge on one another. Last time we saw Damian Priest was 2 weeks ago on SmackDown when Balor put him through the announce table. Now Finn has got a steel chair. He's back inside the ring, and I'm sure awaiting the arrival of the punishment to meet him there. Well, Finn's obviously trying to rearrange the hardware as he puts that chair into the corner, but turns around right into the waiting wings of Damian Priest, who sends him into the corner full head of steam and throws his whole body at the Demon. Damian Priest looking to go 2 for 2 against Finn. Demon or not, this time would mean the most. And Priest mows over Finn Balor with that clothesline, and I'll stomping the life out of him. Damian Priest is looking to bury the Demon 12 feet under tonight. That table perched in the corner by Priest a moment ago, and Damian coming off the middle rope. What a kick by the challenger. And Finn with a kick out. Chair in one corner, table in the other. One set by Finn, one set by Damian. Similar mindsets here, and Balor off the Pele kick. Not a lot of sustained momentum in this matchup. Both men have been kind of meeting each other in the middle. I think after the Demon Finn Balor started off this matchup very aggressive, Damian Priest realized, all right, here we go. 100 miles a minute, start throwing your fist. Been non-stop ever since for the last couple of minutes since the bell sounded here in the Casilla Center. Sold out tonight for what has been a hell of a Bad Blood event as Damian Priest comes skull first into that steel chair. Finn Balor now with Priest locked in the corner. Already been a little bit of a rough night for the Judgment Day. It's Dominik Mysterio losing his Cruiserweight Championship to his father Ray at the top of this program. Finn Balor, however, up in the ante with the Demon, looking to make sure he does not suffer a similar fate to the punishment Damian Priest. Priest down in the ring at the given moment. Finn Balor's wheels are a-spinning. He's getting another table. We already got one. Finn Balor says, well, what about 2? Gave Damian Priest a minute to rest, and Damian Priest, that MMA background, gonna aid him in that moment. Oh, and I believe I believe Damian Priest has been busted wide open. I'm not sure if it happened off that Pele kick a moment ago or what, but Damian Priest is rocking the Crimson Mask right now. Well, that is not going to be good as this matchup progresses. Fatigue going to set in a lot sooner as blood is leaving your body. Guess it was only bound to happen eventually inside Hell in a Cell tonight. As Damian set into the corner, the Demon Finn Balor once again just trying to choke the life out of his former partner. And so much history between these two men. Hell, it was last year at Bad Blood that they successfully defended the World Tag Team titles. A lot can change in a year, and here they are trapped inside Hell in a Cell opposing one another. Finn Balor nearly sending Damian Priest, right through the canvas. It's been a long night here at South Beach. And the Demon not going for the cover just yet. Balor has got his eyes on that table. I don't know. Damian Priest, now or never. Start smelling the salt. Time to wake up. Finn Balor's got him perched on the table. Don't forget about that other table that Damian Priest put in the corner. Oh, Damian starting to fight back. Balor might have took too long here. And into the corner. Just collapses the Demon. Damian grabbing the other table. Got his eyes on Finn. He may be looking to use it as a weapon. That's exactly what the punishment's looking to do. Not a lot of room to breathe inside of that ring right now. With 2 tables and 3 bodies, if we're counting referee Chad Patton, and Finn just goes flying over the one. Priest, I think, or I should say Balor, I think, gave Priest a little bit too much time to recover, and Damian Priest has now come alive inside Hell in a Cell. Finn in the corner, not where he wants to be, with a table behind his challenger. Finn starting to fight back. Again, not a lot of sustained momentum in this matchup. We're seeing momentum shifts every now and then as the fatigue of Hell in a Cell has certainly played a factor. Damian Priest on top. Finn Balor. Looking for a superplex through the table. The Demon strikes, and the Demon's not done. On the Priest, on the debris, into the cover. Damian Priest still alive. Finn Balor putting Damian through the table. The coup de grace on top of it, but not enough to keep down one motivated individual. The heartbreak, the pain, and the agony that Finn has put Damian Priest through is what is going to drive Damian Priest past his limits tonight. Finn Balor now on the outside, looking underneath the ring for another tool. And what the hell is that? Is it a light tube? He's got 2 of them. Did the Demon put those under there? That's not usually something that's hiding out underneath the ring. That's pure glass, ladies and gentlemen, and the Demon Finn Balor has got it in his hand, and he's eyeing up an already broken and bloody Damian Priest, and the glass just shattered all over the flesh and bones of the challenger. Oh no, this is not good for Damian. The Demon has come in with an A plan, a B plan, a C plan. He's got another light tube right now. Oh, Damian able to block it. Didn't get a hard enough shot. Finn Balor gonna be thanking his lucky stars after that, and he got all of that one. There is broken wood. There is broken glass all over the ring. This is Hell in a Cell on full display. And referee Chad Patton better put some gloves on. I wouldn't want to be counting inside of that ring as Damian Priest just got enough of that recoil clothesline. Obviously his equilibrium a little thrown off after the matchup that we have seen thus far. But he's got Finn Balor in a predicament. He's going up for a razor's edge And you gotta believe there was some glass on the canvas right there. And there's a kick out by the Demon. Finn Balor able to kick out after a light tube was broken on his flesh, the recoil lariat, and a razor's edge on top of it. And the Demon just sent over the top rope out of the ring and nearly connected with the steel structure. Damian Priest got to be thinking, what lengths am I going to have to travel to put the Demon, to put Finn Balor in his place for good here tonight? Priest puts that steel chair inside of the ring, meets Finn Balor on the other side now. And Finn just, Damian Priest was almost getting sent into that steel, but collapsed before he could do so. Technically may be better for Damian. Do not want to come in contact with this steel structure. It'll rip apart your flesh and show no remorse doing it. Oh, there you go. Damian Priest sent right into the Hell in a Cell. And Finn does it again. Balor just enjoying punishing his former best friend. Priest now sent back inside of the ring. After coming in contact with Hell in a Cell, Balor's now got another steel chair as if we need it. Damian Priest on his foundation, but at what cost? I don't know how much is left in both of these guys, especially Damian as he gets set to the ropes, and Balor with the double stomp that has got to stomp the life out of Damian Priest. Gonna just crush the lungs of him. And Balor's broken a couple of ribs of Damian Priest in the past. I'm sure he'd love to do so again. Oh! Just showing no mercy for the well-being of each other. And now the steel chair off the back again by Balor. And this won't be the first time that Finn Balor has injured Damian Priest if Damian doesn't come out of this matchup unscathed, which, let's face it, he's not gonna. Nobody leaves Hell in a Cell the same. Damian Priest back on his feet, yet barely, and now sent over the top rope again and to the outside. I think Balor has realized he is going to have to fully incapacitate Damian Priest and bring this man to the brink if he is going to put the punishment away. Damian Priest may be all but too motivated to stay down tonight. Damian Priest, continuing to find a way as he sends Finn Balor face first into the Hell in a Cell. Priest wants the kick, Balor counters. A Pier 6 brawl on the outside of the ring right now. What has Balor got in mind? Oh my goodness! The suplex by Balor that just sent Damian Priest through the wall of Hell in a Cell, and now these men are fighting outside of it. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. The Hell in a Cell was meant to keep these men on the inside, but one suplex later, and now what? The Demon is scaling the side of Hell in a Cell. Balor's on the damn roof. Damian realizing it. I think Balor's egging him on. Oh, you don't need to do this. You guys do not need to fight that high up. Keep it inside of the ring. Keep it inside the structure. This has already been a destructive, violent matchup to each other's well-beings. And now the standoff on top of Hell in a Cell. Draw the line in the sand. This is what this relationship has turned into. Bitter rivals. On top of the Hell in the Cell, duking it out. Finn Balor drops Damian Priest right on the cell, onto the beam. Priest nearly sent through the damn roof. Unfortunately, I don't believe, unless referee Chad Patton's gonna start making up house rules, I don't believe he can make a pinfall up there. You gotta get back down to the ring at some point. The Demon Finn Balor obviously egged Damian Priest on for a reason, because he knew he could do damage to the punishment that high up, but Damian ain't gonna back down from the fight. Oh, these guys are getting precariously close to the edge here. The referee Chad Patton, somebody's got to step in and make sure these guys don't alter each other's careers, hell, their lives for good. These guys are walking on the tightrope. Oh no! Finn Balor set off Hell in a Cell! Oh my God! Finn Balor just fell God knows how many feet by hands of Damian Priest right through the announce table. This is Hell in a Cell. Balor's only back on his feet because Damian Priest brought him there. Damian knows what we all know, and he's got to get this back inside the ring if we're going to see a winner. I think Priest is almost in disbelief about what he just did. Throwing Finn Balor off Hell in a Cell. Balor through the table, and the Demon is scraping his body and precariously walking back inside the depths of hell. I don't even think Damian can believe that Balor is back inside of the ring. Finn Balor throwing a strike. And Balor, 1916, right on the legs of that broken table. Oh my goodness, it was almost over. How the hell is the Demon still moving? Finn Balor, somehow still alive. Another double stomp. I got nothing, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be adrenaline. Finn Balor may be concussed. He may be out on his feet. Damian Priest is back to his feet. Balor's on the outside, and I think simply is just trying to get his wits about him right now. Damian Priest grabbing a hold, bringing him back inside of the ring, and drops him with the neck breaker off the middle rope. I don't even think Damian Priest can believe that Finn Balor is still stirring, and there's a steel chair off the skull. Putting aside what just happened for the moment, Damian Priest has got months upon months of built-up frustration, built-up agony, pain that he's taken out on Finn Balor tonight. Priest has got another damn light tube from underneath the ring. Although there's already shards of broken glass and bulbs rolling around the ring right now. But Damian Priest is looking to show no mercy, to show Finn Balor that his sins have gone unforgiven. Oh my God! Light tube between the eyes of the Demon. And now Damian, without going for a cover, has turned his sights to that table. Finn Balor needing the ropes just to stand on his own 2 feet. Damian Priest continuing to make sure that Finn Balor lives to regret his actions. What did we say when Priest was walking down the aisle? This is more than about just victory. Hell, it's about more than just the World Heavyweight title. This is the bad blood boiling over once and for all. Damian Priest is showing he does not forgive, nor does he forget. And Priest is still yet to go for a cover. Since Balor has been thrown off Hell in a Cell, Damian has still yet to go for a cover. Finn Balor in the corner. Only at the demise of Damian Priest or the decision of Damian Priest, we should say, and it's all at the demise of Finn Balor. Finn, I think, off instinct, rolling to the outside of the ring, which again, ladies and gentlemen, this matchup has got to see a conclusion between the ropes. Damian Priest knows that, but he's enjoying every single second of this. This has got to be therapeutic for Damian Priest here tonight in South Beach. Oh no. What has Damian got in mind? South of heaven, off the ropes, through the table. And he's far from done. Damian Priest with one more, south of heaven. The punishment has sent the demon straight to hell. And we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. We knew Hell in a Cell would change these two men forever. Finn Balor awakening the demon for what he knew would be an emotional, physical war tonight. But I don't even think Finn Balor was ready to travel to the depths that Damian Priest was, especially in those last couple of minutes. Priest sending his former partner, his former best friend Finn Balor, off of Hell in the Cell. And then let's face it, kicked his ass in the last few moments. A south of heaven through the table. Another one on top of that. Priest has buried the demons of his past once and for all.
Here is your winner and the new World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest.
We talked earlier on that Damian Priest has seen some major losses in big-time matches in this calendar year. Tonight, a batter night in the career of the punishment. Months of pain, months of agony, ever since that cold, eerie night in March when Finn Balor stabbed him in the back. It was all worth it. It all comes to a head. It all culminates here in Miami, Florida. And inside Hell in a Cell, Damian Priest stands tall, vanquishing the demon Finn Balor once and for all. And we are leaving Bad Blood with a new World Heavyweight Champion in the punishment, Damian Priest.